able to play live, I just saw better feet. He played tackle, he
Damn.
played guard. I just honestly don't look at I don't look at all of his highlights. Bookers are combos or double teams.
Zach,
Like it,
I'm sorry, Zach, you good now? I'm not sure what happened. It was just it was saying
No, you're
streaming
good.
data, but it said it's streaming now. Apologies for those who were trying to get on Zach's channel there.
all of
Oh,
his, all of his highlights or things that he does well is comboing and moving forward. Which, if you're gonna play that way, I am fine. Like if you want to play that way, I'm fine. I just want to see the scheme because I don't think that Booker moves well laterally. Get he's
I,
a great leader. I get he was hype. I mean, it was kind of it's funny. It's just funny, bro. It's funny. Like, cause I want him to be great. I just can't look at the film. Like I'm literally looking at him move. I don't see good hips. I don't see good movement. I know what I'm looking at. So if anybody wants to argue me about that, that's what it is. Now, when he extends and gets hands on you, you're done. And if that's how they're gonna play him and hide him in that way, Zach, perfect. Do it. All me if we want to use this and say, man, go block Jalen Carter, and that's why you're brought in, and you just be annoying pest to Carter. Problem is Carter wins with quickness too. So those are the issues. Now, I think that I hope that Brian Schottenheimer is tied to this and is like, man, you know what? I know exactly how I want to use this guy, and I know how we're gonna play. But that's just me, Like I said, I like Gray Zabel higher, and we're allowed to disagree about certain things like that.
and
I would have went receiver.
That's what this process is. Is ranking players and all this other stuff. If this was a wide zone, like pure wide, if this was the Minnesota Vikings or Kevin Stefanski, but my man over there, Kevin O'Connell, like we love Kevin O'Connell. I don't think he fits in Kevin O'Connell, right?
Yeah.
Like at all, because it's mostly pure wide zone. I didn't necessarily think he'd be like the perfect fit here either, to be honest. But we are more diverse, Foots. When you talk about you want to see the scheme, I do too. Because I say we're more diverse. We don't really technically know. But based off of Clayton Adams, I think it'll be more diverse. I don't think it'll be strictly wide zone type stuff, A to C type stuff all the time, as I just showed you on that graphic. But if it is, that's his flaw. Everybody's got their flaw. His flaw is he doesn't move well like that. Does he move well enough to be a starter? I absolutely think so. Does he move well enough does he anchor well enough in pass game? I think yes, he does that very well in the pass game. But we shall see because I'm with you. If it happens to be a lot of movement, more often than not, he could struggle early with that.
Yeah.
I think about this being Brian Schottenheimer's first draft as the head coach, and like setting the tone for the rest of his tenure here. Like it feels like this pick is we want to out physical you. Like we're bigger, stronger, maybe not faster, but at least bigger and stronger, and just trying to beef up the interior. I think Booker's weakness is the athleticism, and that's really the only one. And I saw, I think Bobby Belt reported that they liked everything with athleticism being the main point of emphasis with red flags. Everything else,
like, that's why I think
football
he's a good
character,
player. But I know
football character, like production,
movement,
like yeah. And there are ways to help him and understand that weakness, or like, is there a chance that you get him in the weight room? I mean, Alabama's no slouch of a college, but like, is there a way to get that better, get his feet quicker, help him with his agility?
Good question.
I guess we're going to have to wait and see, but we're going to know in training camp. We need to watch that.
I think you asked the perfect question to Foots there. Is he not athletic because he's not athletic, or is it because he's, you say, out of shape? I don't know if that's the case based off of his character. I just think he's just not an athletic guy. And again, like you made another great point, there's been non-super athletes at the guard position now. Probably not a whole lot of them in this day and age. I'm not sure. I have to go look, right? But you hardly see pure interior offensive guards drafted this high and have a crazy high rate. I think it was somebody on Twitter posted like the last 5 or 7 drafts, whatever it was, how many just pure guards have went in the first round in general, but even in the top 15. And it was like 3 or 4 that might have went in the first round. So this doesn't happen often.
Yeah. I think he has the right play temperament. I think he plays the game the right way. I think that he has that in his bag, right? He'll pancake you, he'll do that type of stuff. I just don't want this to be Zion Johnson. Like, he did all that stuff too, and he was awful. I mean, I'm just being honest. Yeah, like, so, like, this pick reminds me of Zion Johnson a lot. But I mean, I should probably stop talking about it because I feel like I'm raining on his parade, and I don't want to do that. The good is the pocket will be clean. He's great coming forward. And so I want to flip to this. What are we doing now? Like, what are we doing moving forward? I need to know. I need to know how this team is going to build this team moving forward, Sky. You cannot sell this fan base, and you can't be logical. You can't be a serious team with Javonte Williams and Miles Sanders as your lead backs. Like, that's ridiculous. You can't be a serious team with Jalen Tolbert as your 2.
Here we go. Because I think
you can't be taken serious. It's not serious.
The backs, you can get backs. Like, I'm not worried about that. You can still get backs tomorrow, no problem. I am worried about the receiver position though.
Like, you can't take this serious.
Look who just went, Foots. And they have Chris Godwin, Mike Evans, and Jalen McMillan.
And they said we still loading up the receivers. And McMillan was good last year. Like McMillan, yeah.
You know, like, these teams realize that the weapons on the outside make a big, big difference. And Dallas doesn't have that right now. And you have, I mean, I really think you have to go wide receiver in the second round. If you don't, that trade they were talking about better start cooking up somewhere, because we saw Jalen Tolbert as wide receiver too. They couldn't move the ball, even with Dak. I know Jerry said something about Dallas, you know, wasn't good. Dak missed almost the entire season. Like, that's just not true. Dak was in the game 8 games, and they were like, what? The record wasn't good.
No, it was like 3-5 or something like that. I you know, they always call Cowboys fans delusional. I think there is a little bit of delusion with the Joneses, with the front office, and maybe even with that scouting department at this damn point, to where they have this delusional thought that, well, we don't need another 1A or a 1B at the receiver position. And over the last 3 or 4 years, 3 years, they've believed they don't need to take another back to complement whoever their 1 is, or usher out an aging, hurt, not the same guy. There is a bit, I think, of delusion there. And again, I have to chuckle because it's like, this shouldn't be a shocker, because if you go look at since 1997, they just don't take these type of picks often, unless a special guy like a Dez Bryant or CD Lamb falls to you, speaking of receiver, in the first round. And I don't believe none of those guys are those dudes. So maybe we shouldn't have been considering Booker or Golden, because they weren't Dez or CD Lamb coming out. And there was a bunch of offensive linemen that they feel like they get back in their comfortable bag. I think they just got comfortable.
And I think some of the way that some of these drafts have lined up for Dallas too, like, you get CeeDee Lamb when you have Cooper, and Gallup was at the peak of his career, albeit short. That's when you needed an edge, and then you didn't get the edge, and you got CD, and Dak gets hurt, Gallup tears his ACL. Like, it's just been the way that some of this is lining up. Zach Martin wasn't great last year before he got injured. He left. I thought the offense played a little bit better against bad teams. But if you look at the Philadelphia Eagles, I'll put it into like this. Their right guard was Mekhi Becton, a bust from the Jets. They were good. You know why? Because he was throwing to A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, Dallas Goedert, like, all those weapons on the Saquon Barkley in the backfield. Like, that was the reason that team was good, not because Mekhi Becton was great at right guard and you took him in the top 15.
Well, when people try to throw the Eagles around, I always dunk on them with the fact that the Eagles have Jeff Stoutland, a legitimate scheme and legitimate plan. What you said earlier in your talk just now, Zach, was something I always say to my fans and those who watch, and I'll say it more clear. The Cowboys just do shit. That's what you basically just said. Man, how these drafts fall out. You took a receiver when this happened and you did this when it. And it just do shit. There really is no plan. It just is doing shit. And that's not really a plan. Now, does it work out sometimes? Oh, yeah, sure. Absolutely. It worked out with CD Lamb. You know what I mean? But they stuck to their board at those point in times. I would love to see their board. Would love to see where this thing fell for them. Because I highly doubt, and this is just me thinking what their board is, I highly doubt Booker was 25, 30. I doubt that. I think they truly had Booker very high. Or I don't think they would have took him. I just don't. Or it was stacked with those other receivers. And then that goes into, okay, well, then do you think they misevaluated, the players?
That's what I kept worrying about this entire process. Like, we say go BPA, but we're looking at the media board. We don't know what the Cowboys are doing. Yeah. They don't look at the media board. They don't look at any of the other 31 boards around the league. Like, they got their own thing. So if we would have known that Tyler Booker was going to be BPA with Golden on the board and a BOOKER on the board, and I mean, heck, we don't know. Tet wasn't there, but who knows? Like, their board isn't always great, and I think that at some point we got to, especially if this doesn't work out. You're on year 3 of missing, and then your scouting department, there's going to be questions. We've been saying this is a great drafting team for years now. There's going to be questions are going to start coming up.
I think there's questions now, and this is again something that I've been saying for years. I think because the Cowboys draft well, that we leave it at that. Because the way the Cowboys move outside of the draft, they have to be better in the draft. I don't give a damn how many times you hit on the first round. The draft doesn't end here, right? It does not end in the first round. I will, again, go back into the 2021 draft. They had 11 picks, y'all. 11. Those motherfuckers didn't trade a single pick to acquire more picks for the next year, to acquire a veteran player that was more proven, to move up to get better players. They stood pat and took freaking Kelvin Joseph, Jabril Cox, Ball in the 4th round. You know what I'm saying? They took these guys, let me be respectful here, these lesser players, didn't package them, and nobody that is worth a damn from them 11 players outside of 2 are still on this team. That's it. 2. And that was in 21. We're in 25. That wasn't 10 years ago. It wasn't 10 years ago. So as good as they draft, because they're not excellent in free agents, because they're not an aggressive team with trades or spending money outside of their own, they have to draft better. That's just the bottom line, man.
And this is what scares me about their scouting department. They signed all those guards thinking that Tyler Booker might not be there at 12. They might have tried to trade back. They might have not been able to do it.
That's a gross misuse.
But they might have signed all these interior guys thinking that Booker wasn't going to be there when nobody in the world, maybe a handful of mock drafts out of the million that were done, had Booker going in the top 15.
Yeah. Let me
was that or like you said, they're just doing shit where they don't really have a plan. They're just like, oh, nobody took our call or nobody called us. Booker's good. Let's go with it.
1 second, y'all. We about to bring in our guy Vach. I just got to set it up here so we don't get struck down. All right, let me move this out.
Get ready for fireworks.
Move this in and move me here. Wait. Boom. There we go. All right. We got Vach Lombardi joining us. What's good with you, brother?
Listen, man, the internet told me to come over here and check on Foots. They told me to check on the guy that's a humongous Tyler Guyton fan, and that we should give Tyler Guyton a chance, and that we should believe in him.
I got him already on that one for you, Vach.
But for some reason, we should be mad at the kid that's ready to go right now. That's been whooping feet since a freshman. That's on film versus fantastic SEC competition. Somebody told me to come over here and check on Foots the King while I'm here at the Dallas Cowboys draft, showing the beloved star in Frisco. Foots, first of all, let me just say this, sir. I understand that you were in on wide receiver. Most Cowboy Nation was. I know weapons was the conversation. Most of Cowboy Nation was. But if we look at our board, And let's just keep it funky, Foots. There's Ted McMillan, and there's a little bit of space, and there's the rest of them. You know what I'm saying? There may be some Golden fans here and there, but we talking about general consensus is McMillan, who's a dog, by the way, and then we just got wherever you got the rest of them. That's general consensus. I feel like if McMillan was on the board, because I hear people walking in and out of this talking about it, if McMillan was on the board, that would have been the pick. If McMillan was there, if Genty was there, and you take Tyler Booker, I think you on to something. I think you have a really good reason to be upset, and you have a really good reason to be pissed off. I know I've been advocating for offensive line for a long time. I just think that a handful of those linemen belong in the conversation with Genty, with McMillan. Josh Simmons was one of them. Tyler Booker was the other one. So, Footsie King, all I'm saying is if McMillan was gone and if Genty was gone, I just want to know where some of your outrage comes from, sir, because this ain't the last night.
Hold on. Time out.
I'm looking at your face. You upset.
I'm not. No. Hold on. So it's not really that I'm upset. It's just it's bad team building because you don't bring in 5 guards in free agency. Bring in 5 receivers if that's the case. Because you're not. Hold on. Let me talk. Let me talk.
Big Charles Rent do Footsie King. Them people not even beating Brock. I'm sorry, they're not even beating Hoffman in a competition. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Footsie. I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
What's their name, Foots? What's their name, real quick? What's their name, man?
Go ahead.
The guards we brought in. What's their name, man? What's their name?
Go ahead, man. All I'm gonna say is everybody in the chat, right? Remember this conversation when you roll out, okay? Jalen Tolbert, Javonte Williams. Remember it. Don't forget it. Do not forget. Hold on. I let Vosh go. He's on a high because he got his guard. No. I did. No. Listen.
He said he wasn't mad.
I'm not mad. I let you talk. I told you firework. No, because this is about Vosh. See, this is what Vosh do, right? He said he want to let.
Trey, what the hell you talking about?
He said he want to let Tyler Guyton grow, but now we sending the same Tyler Booker to the same guy who we sent Tyler Guyton to, who we all love, Duke Manyweather. Great job, Duke. Then Tyler Guyton, we loved him in training camp. Then when he got to the season, we hated him. So
what they got to do with anything?
What they got to do with something that I don't think Tyler Booker's that good. He's a second-round player. I don't think he's that good. His feet stink. Look at his RAS score. Look at him work out. He's a top-heavy player. He's Zion Johnson to me. So if that's what you want to know, that's what it is. I told you. I don't want to poop on a guy anymore, but if we're going to come forward, great. If we're playing laterally, I don't like the player. Like, not for this scheme, but we got to see what it looks like. All I'm going to say is this. You handing that football off to Javonte Williams, not a great creator, Miles Sanders. I don't even know if he had 100 yards last year in Carolina. So if you good with that, Voch, I'm good with that. Let's roll. Let's go play football for Dak Prescott. Let's go. Let's go play football.
Is the draft over, Flitz? Is the draft over?
Let me. What second round receiver can come in here and beat out these receivers? They love Jalen Tolbert. What second round receiver? Who?
I like Jack Best, Footsie King.
Who?
Like Jack Best. Going on the board right now.
Jack Best as a receiver too.
Burden on the board as wide receiver too. Burden on the board.
Jack right Best, come on, Voch. You think that they will let him play? But he's not. But he's not gonna. They won't give him that opportunity. He's not fast.
I named 2 other people.
Hold on.
Go ahead.
Because if Burden, what if Burden fought? Ooh, that'd be crazy.
I named 2.
I don't really like Burden. I don't like Burden here.
I love you. Let me just say, I love you to pieces, bro. I love you to pieces, bro. I think you're being a little too emotional. It's cool to if you flat out just tell me I didn't like Booker's tape, you'll have to show me where you don't like Booker's tape. But we
can watch it together. I don't like his tape.
First, I could at least live with you saying I'm not the biggest fan of his tape, but you can't flat out look at me and say that Booker is a bad player, Foots. Because you watched the same Tyler Guyton tape that you loved last year, Foots.
Because I see the upside. I don't see upside. Dog, look at his RAS score. It's all red.
I don't look at
he can't move. I'm with you. So that's why I said, show me the scheme. Show me the scheme.
Let me interject. Let me interject on that point because you can't say look at the RAS score and then look at the tape with Tyler. The tape with Tyler Guyton was concerning. There was a lot of concerns there, Foots, last year when we had.
You don't have any concerns with Booker?
No, there's flaws with Booker too. But last year when we were trying to say Tyler Guyton thing is a project and a pick, you were adamant he's day one step in and be good.
I wasn't. Hold on. Time out. I said, this is exactly what I said. I said, I see why they're picking him because the athleticism is real. I like athletic linemen. Because I know this, when you deal with a quick 3-tech, Tyler Booker is going to struggle. Am I right or wrong about that, Voch? You can try this with everybody else. You can't try this with me. I know what I'm looking at. When he's combo and running inside zone, he's great. When you ask him to reach, he stinks. Look at his lower half.
So Foots.
He's top heavy. He's top heavy. And then hold on. You the same one who said keep Tyler Smith, right? Hold on, listen. You said keep Tyler Smith at guard. What's all this? Oh yeah, let's move him to left tackle.
I never said that.
That's the next conversation coming. I guarantee it.
I'm never moving
him.
Listen, so Foots, listen. So when you watch film of Tyler Booker blocking good-footed tackles, like Alfred Collins is a good-footed tackle, Walter Nolan is a good-footed tackle. Any of the Georgia kids are pretty good. Tyrion Ingram Dawson is a good-footed B-gap player. When you see film of Tyler Booker blocking good-footed tackles, then what's your response to that, sir? Because he got the film, we can watch together.
I mean, I'm with you, bro. You'll have a few one-offs. So why did you like him, but you didn't like Osiris Torrance? These are the same players. Osiris Torrance was great, and he's been great with the Bills. You didn't like him either, Voch. I don't like Tyler Booker. I don't agree. I disagree with that. I disagree with that.
Brad, that's fine. He's much better than Osiris Torrance, in my personal opinion. If you think Osiris is better, that's cool. What I'm saying is you can't say one off. This kid's been playing in the SEC for 3 years. SEC is
how long did Osiris Torrance play in the SEC?
We're not talking about Osiris. I'm talking about Tyler Booker right now. I'm talking about Tyler Booker. And you said Tyler Booker's going to struggle versus quick-footed tackles. I've given you a list of quick-footed tackles in this draft. I'm telling you, he's been the starting guard for Alabama since his freshman year. Freshman year, he was a right guard, Foots. You can't tell me that's a one-off, sir.
I don't see a good athlete, bro. If he's good, I'll eat crow. I don't see a good athlete, man.
You can, and then one more thing too, because I gotta run. I gotta get back in there. I appreciate everybody being. I ain't think me and Foots were just gonna fuss the whole time.
Really?
They was on the phone, the secret audio or whatever, right? Foots, let me just ask you this. Voch says this. If so when Coach Adams was on the phone with him, he said, yeah, man, we're gonna move the line of scrimmage, and Booker was like, oh yeah, duo and all that, right? Foots, wouldn't you say that Tyler Booker is a guard that's built for duo? I know that you thinking.
That's what I definitely did tell Sky that. I told him that.
You thinking in your mind, and I understand what you're saying. You thinking Booker's gonna pull every play. That's not gonna be the case, right? Because I don't think he's a slow-footed pass blocking guard like you paint him. We can watch film together, but he's not Gray's able to be fair. He's not some of these other great-footed guys to be fair, great-footed guys to be fair. But Fliss, if Clayton Adams just if they both on the phone say, yeah, we're gonna run some duo, we're gonna move bodies. When you say that, that's what Tyler Booker's good at.
Yeah, he can move people. He's very good playing forward.
Okay, one more question, then I'm leaving. And
I was going to ask you a question if you don't mind, Voch, because my concerns kind of stem from the athleticism too, but I think it's just the athleticism. I still think this is a really good player. And you said they were talking. I didn't get a chance to hear that conversation. My concerns were from A to C, and those type of pulls consistently. I looked at how the Cowboys, or at least how Clayton Adams ran. He was more diverse in it. You just said you don't think they're going to do a whole lot of like pulling all the time. If they do end up being a team where they're moving laterally a lot, is there more concerns than with this player? Or does what he does well elsewhere, does that mitigate it?
You would have to be fair 100%.
Wow. I got an echo here? Oh, that was foot.
No, you good. You good.
That's
fair.
No.
Scott, that's fair. If they're gonna be outside zone, most of the time, 70% of the time, yeah, it's gonna be a problem. You know what I'm saying? But I think Booker's problem. I don't think his feet are slow. I just don't think he's not putting together the footwork necessary. I think he's a raw-footed athlete as opposed to like slow feet. I've seen slow-footed athletes. Like there's some Ursaray is a slow-footed athlete. You know what I'm saying? There's some guys in the draft right now that are slower-footed athletes. I think he has decent feet. I just don't think that he's using them properly to really take advantage of all that kind of stuff. But you are right. To your point, if it's year one, and I'm just asking y'all to trust me on this. If it is year one and we pinning and pulling 70% of the time, I would much rather him be the pin guy, the down block guy, than the pull guy, the get out in space guy. But you can always play call to account for that. Well, let's pull Tyler Smith. Let's pull Tyler Guyton. Let's pull Terrence Steele. We can pull Booker sometimes. I don't think Booker's going to be pulling every single play. But based on the secret audio, they're talking about moving the line of scrimmage. That's what Booker does. And look, I understand Foots being upset.
I'm not upset. I gave you, hold on, Voch. I gave you a major shout out. Hold on, listen. I let you talk. You know you my dog. And I gave you a major shout out on Twitter. I'm actually very happy for you. But you know, I can't fake it. That's not me. You know that, Vach. And I tell you, this team had a real chance to get a weapon. If you looked at Matthew Golden, you've done film on Golden. He's a better player than Tyler Booker. He's a better player than Tyler Booker. This isn't about need and all that. You rate players better. And like, I want to know where they had him on the stack. If they had Booker higher,
get that
if they had Booker higher,
get that information.
That's cool.
I'm gonna ask Bobby. Foots, this is another thing that I got a bone to pick with you about fairness. You was I don't know if you said it tonight, but you said on one of your previous shows, you was talking about Tyler Booker and the warts that he has. But when you talked about the wide receivers, you didn't mention their warts. You don't think Matthew Golden got warts, Foots? And why don't you mention those in the same breath that
I think that Golden's warts, or maybe he doesn't want to block. But
because if anything, Golden got 4 good games this year that we can really look at and take great film from. So like, I just don't understand why you wouldn't be fair to one but not fair to the other.
I mean, hold on, time out. Whoa. We're not gonna do that. I'm fair to everybody. And again, like I said, I had Gray Zabel higher than Matt. If you would have went Zabel, but it's the type of lineman that I like. I know what I'm looking at. So
I think that's crazy, but go ahead. Okay,
that's fine. That's why we do this.
Well, Vod, you can't say it's crazy when he brings up the type of lineman he like, because you like a certain type of lineman too, right? Like, you know what I mean?
Sure. Great. Zabel may do things that.
You mean this? Okay, you mean the Zabel thing? Okay.
I think consensus would say Gray Zabel like. People may not like Booker at 12, but Gray Zabel at 12 is some nonsense.
Okay,
I'd have been mad. I'd have called in mad.
So how many years are we going to take a first round lineman? Because you keep doing it, and you brought these coaches in to coach. How many years are you going to do it? Next year, when we're picking wherever, it's like, oh, just take a lineman again. How many years are we going to do it? And what if he doesn't pan out this year? And you say, dang, how does that look?
Well, you can't say you're not mad for us. My whole thing though, I think.
Oh, I'm not mad. I'm asking you questions like you're asking me questions. I'm not mad.
I think when you hit on offensive linemen, I think you can keep them forever. We ain't gonna talk about left guard for a long time. I don't think we're gonna talk about center for a long time. I never was a fan of Tyler Guyton. You love Tyler Guyton. You was trying to talk me off the ledge about Tyler Guyton last year.
So if Tyler Guyton pans out, you'll jump in front of him and say he was good, right?
I'm not gonna say he
because development doesn't stop day one, right?
We're going away from the question, though. He's going away from the question. He's asking how many. If one of these guys don't work out, whether it's Guyton or if Booker struggles, because what happened now, right, is Guyton struggled year one, and half the fan base is or front office is like, we need O-linemen. What happens if Booker struggles, or what happens if Guyton's not got? What happens if they get rid of Terrence Steele? Are we right back to? We gotta get an offensive lineman in the first or second round again.
Listen, I don't think y'all are wrong, by the way, because I think I'm being painted as pro O-line, anti wide receiver guy. I would have loved if Golden was the pick. I would have loved if I got a Booker as my 8th overall player. Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
To be fair, you were not that. You were not that this draft process.
If either one of those guys was the pick, I'd be celebrating with you. I was hoping Tet was the pick. Tet was the most desired pick. But he's my 5th best player on my board. Why would he fall to 12? You know what I'm saying? So in my mind, I'm looking at Book.
Where was Golden on your board?
Huh?
Where was Golden on your board?
Golden is he's 8 on my board.
Okay. So you're making my point. That's what I'm saying. That's the point. He was 8 on your board. Where was he at? Did you have him over Booker? Yes or no? Let's answer these questions. I'm great at debating, Vach. Did you have him over Booker? Yes or no? You say I'm mad or I'm not? Okay.
By the way,
I at least need you to listen to me, bro.
Vach, Zach, by the way.
What's up, Zach? My bad, bro. Listen, Puss, I at least need you to listen to me, bro.
I'm listening.
I got Golden higher than Booker. I got Golden at 7, but I got Booker at 8. But nobody cares about my board. I got Josh Simmons at 6. You understand what I'm saying? Nobody cares about my board. What I'm simply conveying is that Booker is a good player. Me and you not disagreeing about picks or anything like that. We disagreeing that Booker's a good player. I think Booker's a good player. He'll be ready. You don't think so? I think Booker would have been a good pick. I think Golden would have been a good pick. I think Jahdae Barron would have been a good pick. I think Ibuka would have been a good pick. I think there's a lot of good picks that we could have had. We only disagreeing that we're and that's what I'm saying. You paint me into a certain kind of picture for us. You saying that the pick should be Booker over Golden. I would have loved Golden. It just ain't fucking Golden. It's Booker. It's Booker. Yeah. So I'm just telling you, it's a good player.
Go ahead, that's Vach said it pretty much what I was saying earlier. Like, I think this is a good play. I didn't want Booker here personally. Like, this wasn't what I was like going to be jumping for joy for. There were other players I wanted here 100% more. And to the value thing what Zach was saying, I also think it was a weird value. But I think what happened, Vach, is that the fan base has turned this into a tribalism. It's turned it into either one or the other. There's no, you know what I'm saying? And that for a lot of people, that's not the. It's corny as hell. It's just theatrics. And I've been trying. That's why for weeks I've been trying to say, yo, it doesn't have to be one or the other because it's going to be one or the other in the first round. But if it's the other side, that you aren't for, let's look at the player. If the player's good, don't allow what you wanted to diminish the player. Now, to be fair to Foots believes the player's not that good. So he's 10 toes. He's standing on business. He's not the guys that I'm talking about out here in these fan streets.
No. And I'm gonna say this, Vach. Booker pans out year one. I'll own it. I'll come on here and say I was wrong. This is part of what we do. I'm gonna say that, but I'm gonna say this. This is part of what we do. But I honestly, I just want the football team to be good. Y'all should be able to hear the passion in my voice. I want this football team to be good. So here's my deal, right, Vach? Let's say
somebody have their phone on.
It's not me.
Vach,
I don't have anything
up
on.
Or something, or?
No, sir, but I can turn down the volume on this laptop. I ain't got headphones.
Oh, that's what it is. That's what it was. Yeah.
So let's close it with this, Vach, because that's a good debate. I'm not mad. I want y'all to know I love Vach. That's my bro. This is football talk. This ain't none of that.
Oh, no, we
I love Scott. I love Zach. I feel bad for Zach because I told him before, get ready for fireworks. He got him. Here's the deal. So Vach, now we make it work, and we make it work by. I think now this next pick needs to be a running back. I think that you have to go chalk with. Because here's my thing, right? I'm not waiting till day 3 or the 5th round to try to get my bell cow. Foots does not believe in Javonte Williams and Miles Sanders. So I would rather roll with this receiver room. Not facts, Scott, but I think I would rather roll with this receiver room and say, can I get a Judkins? Can I get a and man, you know what? Can we get the Iowa kid? Can I get a bell cow? And this is who we want to be. Let's own it. That's me.
Yeah. See, first, don't get mad that they took Booker. Get mad that this roster is not fully built going into the draft.
That's fair.
Uh-oh.
I think we lost Vach.
Come on back, Vach. Get in there.
I know.
We might have lost Vach at a point that he was making that we've been making for. I think we made it on our mock draft show, right? Where, ladies and gentlemen, we're in this situation because the way they attacked the offseason, right? Like, you're in a situation, you have 3 picks in the top 148, and you have like 7 needs. It's impossible.
Yeah,
it's impossible, man. So a fantastic debate there. Between
I'm glad that Vach jumped on. It was good.
Oh, 100%. I mean, when he hit me up for the link, I'm like, all right, this is gonna get good, real good. I'm sitting here fixing this for us here so we can get back to the show. Bring Foots back in here. Let's get Vach out of here, and we are back straight. All right, we back, y'all. That was a fantastic. I was gonna say like a little breather, but it wasn't. Oh, Vach said, hold on, I ain't done with y'all fools just quite yet. He right back up in here. Let's get Vach.
My bad. Let everybody know that the damn star in Frisco ragged his hair and the internet ain't bad. One last thing I want to say. I do believe Guyton can be a good starter. I just don't like waiting on prospects. I don't like building prospects. I don't like project players. And to be fair to your point, Foots, we probably shouldn't be drafting O-line so much. We should be hitting on O-line and moving on and leaning into coaching. My point is, Booker here now. He here now. So I'm just giving you my thoughts and evaluation of him being here now. That's all I'm saying with that. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, I'm with you. Yeah.
JL said,
so as far as
John Owning said this signals even more that the Cowboys are switching to a heavy man/gap scheme by selecting Booker.
Yeah. They said it. Listen. Will Still, whenever you get time, you want to do your magic or whatever, pull up the call or whatever. When Jerry called him or whatever, you can hear Clayton Adams say, "We're ready to move the line of scrimmage," and then Booker says, "Oh yeah, duo and all that." He says it. Yeah, duo
folks.
and all that. So
yeah, I mean, because you know me, Scott, I watch film. That's what he wants to do. He wants to double team, and that's what they want to do. That's fine. And I think that he could be successful in that way. I know, like what Carolina does with so much outside zone, wide zone. I just don't see that in his.
We talked about that, how like Kevin O'Connell, like I don't think he would fit there. My understanding was that we were going to be doing a lot more of that kind of wide, not just wide zone, but like pulling and things like that. Maybe not. Maybe that won't be the case, and that's why they took a guy like Booker.
Hey, listen, man. I love y'all to pieces. I gotta run, man.
Right,
I'm proud of y'all. I love y'all. You
man,
know what I'm saying?
Too,
everything you're doing. Zach, we gotta do some work at some point, man. But I'm about to run back in here and about to finish this food first, take a bathroom break, drink another Miller Lite, and get ready to get back on the show, man. I love y'all.
Another Miller Lite. All right, Brody. Much love, but
much love. Love y'all. See ya. Yes, sir. Zach, I didn't let Zach get a word in. I apologize, Zach.
No, you're good. But hey, Foots, I wanted to go back to the idea that you would take the runner in round 2.
Yep.
Because I was gonna make a video, didn't get to it, but like 5 trade options for Dallas if they don't, because I think that's where they're headed. They don't get a running back, they don't get a wide receiver, like a corner. Like they have a plan, whether it's trade, sign someone off the street. I brought up the name Kenneth Walker. If you don't get your running back, a 1-year deal going to 2025 with Kenneth Walker instead of drafting a back in the 5th round. What do you do at wide receiver? Let's say they don't go wide receiver at all. Because after the 3rd round, you just forget it. Move on. Move on from wide receiver.
I think, I'm with you, bro. I would. Now I'm at the point where I still want to try to go best player available. Like I do want to draft a Carson Schwarzenegger if he's there. I do want to draft a good player if they're there. But like you said, I think now because it feels like they panicked. They're gonna say this is who they wanted the whole time. But now that they're there, I think now we start to see reach on need. And so we'll see. You know what I mean? Because like for me, Zach, your question was Kenneth Walker, right? But I think that there may be better running backs at 2. But now, stack wise, how are you looking? You see what I'm saying? Does that make sense? And not at 2 at the 2nd round. So what I mean by this is, go ahead.
It sucks because you need a running back and a wide receiver in the 2nd round. Like that's where you're at now. Like you need them both. We've talked about that's the 2 positions that everybody's pounded the table for all offseason, like running back, wide receiver. People talk about corner, defensive tackle. Like now that you got the guard, good or bad pick, it feels like the 3rd round is just a wash. Maybe you can get a running back, but if you get out of the 3rd round without a back, just move on. It's gonna be just like last year.
That's where I'm at.
That pick hurts like hell. Again,
because you have to address the defensive side of the ball.
I'm about to say, we talked about this before. The trenches talk for me was the defense. It was always about the defensive side of the ball because for many years we've had 3 first-round picks. If we want to just be as simple as possible, 3 first-round picks up front. What happened every time we got to the playoffs? You got your ass ran on. What happened every time you got to the playoffs? You can get no interior pressure. I didn't think there was enough emphasis being put, in fan base and even the national media about the Cowboys defensive side. Again, I said this the other day. I had a a trade down scenario where I'm taking Derek Harmon in the 1st round. That's what I would have took. I wasn't taking no damn offensive lineman. And that's no disrespect to the offensive lineman. It's just that a conversation that I hate this whole team trenches, team weapons. It's so corny and goofy to me. But one of the things that, the team trenches kept talking about is solidifying this, solidifying that. When is your organization going to be able to get the best out of these million of offensive linemen that you're taking outside of the 1st round? They are what the Cowboys are doing right now. Again, taking Booker out of this, okay? Because I do think he's a good player. This is not about you, Tyler Booker. Welcome to Dallas. I think you're going to be fine. This isn't a you problem. This is a Cowboys franchise issue. Look at what's happening right now in the draft. I'm not even going to go I'm not even going to go into the history. Let me update this here for a second. If I'm not mistaken, did the Packers just take Matthew freaking Golden?
Yeah.
Look what's happening, y'all. Just this draft alone. The Packers have a really solid wide receiver room. They took a receiver. The Buccaneers have a really good wide receiver room. They took a receiver. The Vikings had Justin Jefferson. They took a wide receiver. The Eagles just took a wide receiver the year before in the first round. They traded a first round pick for a wide receiver. The league is showing you how to move. And this has been my problem with the Cowboys front office. They never can keep up. They always live in their past and live into their past successes, but their past successes aren't really successes in today's age. It's just not. And that's where I think the frustration comes with like a Foots in the team weapons aspect is your way isn't working. It's not working. It didn't technically work last year with Tyler Guyton. We hope that he can get better though. So it's like you look around the league and how these other more successful franchises are moving, and you're not moving in that manner.
Yeah.
They're stuck in that 2014 success when they took Zach Martin and got the right guard and they could run the ball. But I mean, even then they had Des Bryant, Terrence Williams had one of the best years of his career. Like, you just need weapons. Like, just like you pointed out, all of these 1 and 2 wide receivers that Dallas aren't they're not even going to have the corners to keep up. You're going to have Deron Bland and then whoever else is getting smoked on the other side by Devontae Smith. Dallas, you can bracket CD and what? Jalen Tolbert, make a no disrespect to Jalen Tolbert, make a crazy catch, every other week or whatever. But at some point, and Dallas is good at hitting on wide receivers. I know they haven't done it hardly at all in the past 2 decades, but they hit when they draft in the first round.
Facts. You would think they would take the same mindset that they have with the offensive line and apply it to the receiver position. Hell, they even hit the second round when they took a second round receiver. Y'all, Antonio Brown was just a nut. He was an absolute nut, but he was a very talented nut that threw was snapped out on the coach, and the coach wasn't with it. But Antonio Brown, Des Bryant, CD Lamb, when you took a receiver in the first round, albeit you ain't take a lot, or a second round, you've hit. I don't give a damn how much you want to lean into the offensive line trench talk. There is no way you can say that the Cowboys don't mismanage their skill position early in the draft. It's a gross mismanage of it when you have only taken a skill position in the top 2 rounds 5 times in a 20-year span. I didn't say the first round. The top 2 rounds 5 times in 20 years.
They've drafted it. The Cowboys have drafted a skill position 5 times in the last 20 years.
In the first 2 rounds. 5 freaking, I'm sorry, maybe 6 because of the when I say skill, I mean wide receiver, running back. Because of Antonio Bryant. Des Bryant, Felix Jones, Julius Jones, Des Bryant, CD Lamb, Ezekiel Elliott, 6 times. And not Antonio Brown, but Antonio Bryant. That is a total of 2 rounds, so that's a total of what, like 40 picks? You've taken the skill position 6 times. Go on, bro. What is that? Dude, what is that? Yeah, that's gross, bro. That's gross. And I want to hear, there's 10 offensive, or there's 5 offensive linemen, so you gotta. I'm not hearing none of that. Because if that's the damn case, then why are our teams winning Super Bowls that don't have 7 first-round offensive linemen in a 12-year span?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Yep.
So, as much as
that was my point.
As much as I like Tyler Booker, it's not about you, brother. It's about this franchise.
It's not. I think that's the way I address it, and that's probably where my frustration comes. This guy, you're good with making it all make sense. And listen, the fact that we haven't heard anything. We haven't heard the head coach speak, none of this. So Botch has that information. We don't. I know this. I wasn't wrong when I said he needs to run duo or inside zone.
You were spot on, brother.
Yeah. And so when he said that, like, I know what I'm looking at, guys. I mean, anybody in the chat can say I'm overreacting, but I know who Tyler Booker is. Now, if this is how they're going to build the scheme, if that's the case, draft the running back to me, Scott, because I don't want to build this room around Javonte Williams. I'd rather go name the free agent receiver. Go get them. And I do not want this malpractice to say Javonte Williams and Miles Sanders, or don't sell me on that. I'm out on that. I'm out on that, Sky. Go get me the running back who can at least hold the fort down, and we can have a substantial running game.
Let's debate this because Zach, I know you want to debate it because you asked the question, and I also want to debate this too.
Yeah, let's debate it.
Because next round, I'm more receiver here. I'm more receiver. You saying you're comfortable with rolling out the Jalen law firm? Well,
let me just kind of. That's what they've given us, Sky.
Let me just get it. Let me just try to get it off. Get it off. Get it out here in the ether world. Jalen Tolbert does not. He doesn't do it for me. Number one, as a wide receiver too, and he has 1 year left. 1 year. Jalen Brooks. What are we even talking about? Okay, no. Seriously, what are we talking about? We're talking about wide receiver 5 or 6. Jalen Moreno Cropper couldn't even make the team. Jonathan Mingo. They want to sell us on Jonathan. And this was my worry. If you go back and look at my videos, I was worried that are they going to sell us Jonathan Mingo because they traded a 4th round pick? If they don't take a receiver in the 2nd round or 3rd round foots, they're going to sell us Mingo. And Zach's point is, do you even have a 3rd round receiver that's really going to come in here and be a difference maker in that manner? I'm with you there if that's your case. I don't know if there's a round 3 receiver that's going to come in here and be certifiably wide receiver 2 and be a Robin more so than an Alfred. I'm looking for a legitimate Robin. I'm not looking for Alfred.
Yeah. This is really shaping up a lot like we saw last year at this time when they took Tyler Guyton. They took the offensive lineman. Obviously, there's some differences in the prospects, but they had glaring holes at certain positions. They decided to go offensive line, which tackle was one, but we didn't feel best player available, at least some of us. But it's just my thing with wide receiver in the 2nd round is the talent's going to drop off so much. I can't remember the exact numbers. Something crazy. Like it's a 30 or 40% hit rate in round 1 for receivers with production. And then 2nd round, it drops to about 25 or 30. But once you get past round 3,
that was bad. Hit rate.
It's over. It's over. Like 4 through 7, there's been one receiver in the past from 2011 to 2021 that technically was a hit out of those picks in 10 years.
Is it
4 to
BOOKER?
7. No, this was from 2011 to 2021. They don't have the data,
21, okay.
the data yet to say hit or miss. So it's just you're probably not gonna. Do you want all the receivers on the market for the trade market? Apparently, with Pickens and Williams, Jameson Williams.
Oh, 1 year deals.
They're apparently basket cases. They come with baggage.
And but they're not afraid of that. Number one, we know that they're not afraid of that. My worry is there's that, and you're going to have to pay them. Now are they going to get a bigger bag than Michael Gallup? That's the other thing, right? Excuse me. By not taking that, and again, I don't want to pigeonhole them into this because this is the conversation we're trying to have about 2nd round. This is another reason why I take the 2nd round guy, because if the 2nd round guy can be more more Robin for me. I'm sorry, go ahead.
The Giants just made a trade.
Uh-oh. Is this only
they're going to get a quarterback? They're probably going to get Jackson Dart.
Yeah, this is definitely quarterback here. Is this only the second one? Jackson Dart? I mean, Shador is still on the board.
I told y'all he was going to fall out the 1st round. Shador's not getting drafted tonight. I don't see it. I don't see this guy. I don't think Dayball is not going to tie himself to.
Thank you, bro. Blue, appreciate it. I didn't.
Yeah, I mean, like, not to sound. I mean, it's kind of. I think the Shador really rubbed people the wrong way at the combine. I think that the Deion brashness. I think all of it rubbed Shador. Rubbed people the wrong way, Sky. I don't know if he gets drafted in the 1st round.
I mean,
and some of that is a skill set because I don't have him in my top 50. And so, like, I would probably draft a guy like Jalen Milroe over Shador because of the trades.
Okay, where you got Dart at then? I mean,
well, no, I don't have Dart in my top 50 either. No, yeah, facts. But I mean, it's the Giants,
Milroe, right? Because Milroe's there, and it sounded like the Giants didn't like Shador. Dayball. I
think this. You know what? I don't know. I think it could be quarterback. You don't trade back up for anything else than a quarterback.
Oh yeah, definitely quarterback. Just which one, right?
Yeah, which one? Yeah, that's what it'll be.
Yeah. Go ahead, Zach. I'm sorry.
I mean, I was talking about earlier when they took Abdul Carter. Like if they would do this, get back into the first round and get their quarterback. Because I'm telling you, Brian Daboll being on that last year, his contract, he's going to be pushing to get his guy.
But
and this is going to be interesting too. They got Wilson and Jameis. Is it Jameis Winston? Is he in New York?
Yeah.
So how's that going to work? Like Brian Daboll is going to push the rookie if it is a quarterback, which I'm sure it is. If you're getting back into round one,
you can get off of Winston, though, right?
Yeah, you can get off of Winston, but with the Russell Wilson thing, and I just think it's going to get tricky up there in New York with what they're planning to do with your coach on the last year of his deal, or could be a rookie quarterback. Russell Wilson on a 1 or 2 year deal. Like, it's going to get interesting for them.
So I've used this argument for the Cowboys. Russell Wilson and Winston don't stop me from taking a quarterback if I'm the Giants.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
No.
They don't stop me from taking a quarterback. And that kind of, again, goes back tying to the Cowboys. I've made a video about this, talk about on my live stream. Everybody was celebrating them signing 15 different people or trading for them or whatever. And I'm like, unfortunately, not one single person they signed stops you from drafting anybody at that position anywhere in the draft. I even said it about offensive line. Even though I said, look, they done signed they got 8 options for left guard. The problem is not one of them stops them from taking a lineman. That was the problem. Now, I thought they were preparing themselves. Go ahead.
I really want to go check and see how much money they spent on free agent offensive linemen. Do you know?
I can tell you.
The number, because wasn't it like one
You mean this year?
$4 million here? And yes, this year in free agency.
All of it's vet minimum type deals. Everyone has a 1-year deal. The highest paid lineman is Robert Jones at 3.5.
Yeah, 3.5. But didn't they sign like what, 4 with Hoffman? He was a restricted free agent.
Yeah, if you count Hoffman, they signed 4. Hoffman, Sadiq, the new guy from Cincinnati, and Robert Jones.
Yeah. Did that combine for over what they paid for Dante Fowler? Like my point is you probably could have got a player at another position or guard.
Oh,
like,
brother.
You know what I'm saying? They just spent all these. They like vet minimum deals so much that they don't realize that they've blown through 6 or 7 of them when they could have just spent that money on a player that's a difference maker.
Zach, the pick is coming in, but I want to write this down so I don't forget this, because I have not had this conversation with you publicly about how they're spending in offensive linemen in free agency. It is even worse than you think, brother. Pick is in. No apologies. This is a Cowboys channel. This is Cowboys. So, and there it is. Foots.
There it is.
Jackson Dart.
I caught it.
Jackson Dart.
Yeah. I kind of said that, like, I knew you don't trade back into the first round. They didn't like Shador. So. Yeah, they didn't like Shador. And I mean, you don't trade back into the first round for.
Definitely.
I don't have Jackson. I didn't have that on my bingo card, but I just was like, I knew the Shador stuff wasn't real. He didn't fit with the Giants. I mean, think about it.
He didn't fit with Daboll.
Well, just think about the Giants quarterback, Shador, that organization, John Mara, they want to clean. Yeah. Eli, Daniel Jones.
Well, brother, let me tell you something right now. 95% of the league ain't gonna fit Shador, dude.
Yeah, I know, and that's the deal.
I also don't. The slide stop.
Oh wow.
Another trade
to Atlanta. I think this is the edge rusher.
Who's this, Rams?
Atlanta's coming up, I think.
Now we getting somewhere.
Oh, the Rams. Oh, is this Milroe? No, they traded to Atlanta.
They traded to Atlanta. Yeah, which I bet you this could have been Milroe if they sat there.
Yeah.
But back to you brought up the offensive lineman and the pay, Zach. If you go look at it, the last time the Cowboys, this is a big issue with Dallas. This is why they draft a freaking offensive lineman so much in the first round. The last time the Cowboys paid a legitimate offense, I don't want to call them legitimate, pay legitimate money for an offensive lineman in free agency was Mackenzie Bernardo back in 2010 or 12, one of the two. It's 2025. It's 2025. Every single Super Bowl champ you can probably think of, or at least in the last half decade, has probably made a significant trade for an offensive lineman or signed a significant offensive lineman in free agency. Philly has done it multiple times. People forget because he got hurt, I think, and retired. But Brandon Brooks, they traded for him, and he became an All-Pro Pro Bowler for those guys in that pre-Super Bowl and right when they got the Super Bowl in 2017. And I don't even know if he even participated, but neither here nor there. we see the Ravens do it all the time. We see the Chiefs do it all the time. We've seen the Rams. We've seen the Bucs. We've seen all of them make moves in free agency or via trade for legitimate offensive linemen. The Cowboys got stubborn in their ways early by hitting on Tyron Smith and Zach Martin and Frederick. And Collins, right? Well, we don't need to do that. Yeah, you did, because you didn't go out and sign somebody in the offensive line that was legitimate. You leaned on that, and you went right back to that well. Tyler Smith, Tyler Guyton, Tyler Booker. You would think they learned our lesson. It didn't work last time in the sense of getting past the divisional round. Will it work this time? To be decided.
Yeah.
Go out and spend money in free agency offensive line so you can get your weapons in the draft.
Yeah.
Go for it.
No, go ahead, Zach. You got it.
No, you got it.
I just feel like that's what Sky just laid out, is just like, now it does hit when you start doing these types of things, just how bad the team building process has been. And I try to explain it away, but Sky's right.
Because you've been talking about this for years.
No, you have. And I don't have a problem when I'm wrong. The problem is now they're starting to enter a dangerous territory where they're not hitting in the draft. Because again, like Kalen Carson, we'll see what happens with Maris Lewis-Fowl. Your only hit last year was BB, right? And that's
stay there, Foots. Stay right there real quick.
Yeah, your only hit last year was BB.
They have just the whole you're starting to show some kinks in your armor in the draft, or at least those.
And that's what they do.
At least those kinks.
That's what they're supposed to be good at.
Shine, right? Because like I said, you go back into their past drafts. I'm gonna bring up that 21 draft. I don't care what y'all talk about. 11 picks, brother. Only 2 really matter.
In 21.
21. Yeah. Now you can say, 22, Sky. They got a Pro Bowl in the 5th round. They got Fergie, right? We got, you know what I mean? Fair. Tyler Smith, absolutely fair. No doubt about it, because they are a good drafting team. But what happens when 23 and 24 happens, y'all? What happens? What happens? This happens. You know, granted, lots of injuries last week or last year, no doubt about it. But this is what happens when you overly rely on the draft, man.
If you go back and look at the Cowboys roster in 2021, right, and you would still have the 2022 year, and then the draft in 23 and 24 happen. Like, the rosters changed dramatically. Mm-hmm. Like, Ezekiel Elliott was here at running back. He was on the downside of his career, but he's not the Zeke he was, in 2024. But you had Amari Cooper, CeeDee Lamb, Dalton Schultz, Tyron Smith, albeit unhealthy here and there, Connor Williams, Zach Martin, La'el Collins at right tackle.
By the way, pick is in James Pierce from Tennessee, edge rusher.
Great pick. I said they were going edge. Yeah, I said they were going edge.
If it wasn't for, we talked about this the other day, just the red flags, but the actual player, man.
Oh yeah,
phenomenal.
Love his tape, Sky.
But they needed this.
Go ahead, Zach.
Sorry, Zach.
Yeah.
But no, you're good. It's just those two drafts, and they're not really hitting on anything late. So, they were going to take Bergeron, which they were going to take another offensive lineman. They like Matthew Bergeron in that draft. That was 2023.
And they probably should have, because we missed on Mozzie. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm sure they talked about I know they did. They took Tyler Guyton in 2024. It's just crazy with the offensive linemen, and I don't think somebody tweeted that the Cowboys have taken 2 first-round offensive linemen and 1 in the 3rd round, and the Eagles haven't taken 1 in that same time period. So,
yeah, Philly invested in their offensive linemen mostly in the 2nd round, right? They had 2 second-rounders, but again, I always bring it up. These guys, they know what the hell they're doing and have a plan. They have a plan, and everything is planned there, right? They're not just throwing shit at the wall and trying to stick. Plus, they have Jeff Stoutland, They haven't taken a first-round offensive lineman since Andre Dillard, and they didn't even work out. They didn't care. That's the thing about Philly. They can make a signing and not work out. They don't care. They can draft an offensive lineman in the 1st round. Don't work out. They don't care because they got a great coach, got a great scheme in that sense. They have a great plan in that sense. Where Dallas,
and if they don't hit the draft, they go get a wide receiver
or
get AJ Brown,
or they'll go sign him, or they'll trade for a lineman. Like they're not
exactly.
They're not going to repeat
their mistakes. Go get AJ Brown.
Yeah. Yeah, they move with more aggressiveness because they have a front office guy that if he does not win, he's going to be fired. Flat out.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
We have the same people running the draft in 2025 that was running the draft in 1989.
Yeah.
Now, granted, when I say 89, I'm talking about the Joneses. Obviously, Will McClay's around, right? And I've been trying to tell y'all, for as much as I love Will, he is not the general manager. I can tell you, I bet you if Will McClay have full autonomy, he's not taking an offensive lineman in the three offensive linemen in the top 3 rounds in the last 3 years or 4 years.
Yeah.
I don't think he'd do that and ignore the rest of the position. But because of their success of hitting an offensive line with that certain regime, the Joneses, I'm pretty sure they're like, yeah, this is what needs to be. And Will was like, hey, man, I'm not the one making the decisions. I'm just here to give my opinion.
Yeah.
So do we lose our minds if they take an edge in round 2?
You know what? It's not off the table.
They love
I don't
drafting
put
edge.
anything off the table at this point, bro.
Like, bro,
Like,
that's how it started last year too, though. Offensive line edge.
Bro, I don't put anything on the table. I'm just confused by
Bro,
the way
if
that
they
this team is.
offensive line
I'm
edge 2 years
confused.
in a
I'm
row.
confused, bro. Like, you would think that there would be, you would think that there'd be some type of. I think Shoddy missed here. I really do. Especially like he's gonna see with the corner. Like, let's look at Philly's defensive backfield, right? And you think about Quinion and those guys, and their front is crazy. Their front is good, so that hits that need.
Yeah.
I just think that, man, to me, just I'm an offensive coordinator, and the way I look at it is I'm always mano good on the edges, right? And I just at those positions, because CD's only one man, and he's really good, but it's only him, and now I'm just to the point. Go get Keenan Allen, or go get. And I'm not the biggest Keenan Allen fan, but get him in this room versus. Go ahead.
What about? And shouts out to Professor O brought us up, but we know receivers. There are receivers on the market, the Pickens and the Jamesons of the world. I'm at this point now, Foots. Forget a Keenan Allen. I'm at this point now, Zach. I might say mother F for second round receiver. Go get me Jameson Williams.
Go get me go get me George Pickens. I'll be fine.
And
just
pay the money.
Yeah, I'm like,
just you
can't. It's malpractice. You have Dak Prescott in his prime for the next 2 to 3 years. If you don't, we can't say that because Dak is very healthy. He's taking care of his body. He's mentally sharp. He's a great player. But I want to kind of just start living in the now with this team. Like, I'm not a Philly fan, but I will salute Philly for looking at Devontae Smith and saying he's not good enough and going to get AJ Brown.
No, don't say he's not good enough. He can't do it himself.
Well, when I say he's not good enough, like maybe, I wish you.
So what? The Vikings looked at Justin Jefferson and said he ain't good enough.
They looked at Justin Jefferson and said, "We see Jordan Addison, and we want two. We want to have."
That's what I'm saying. It's like I don't give a damn how good you are. The league's telling you, you have to have multiple guys out there. You just do. And this is not to say offensive line does not matter, because that's this tribalism, this trolling. I think is corny. With this whole team, this team, that shit is goofy to me. It's not to diminish, like that side is trying to diminish either or, one or the other. Okay, it's not about that. It's about the process and how you're allocating your resources. You can't tell me that doesn't matter. Like, I love my guy Jeff. I'll tell this to Jeff's face. Jeff, if you're watching, I love you. Don't tell me it doesn't matter that they drafted a first-round offensive lineman last year. They drafted a first-round offensive lineman 2 years ago. They drafted a third-round offensive lineman last year. Don't tell me that doesn't matter. It absolutely matters. And you mean to tell me we still have to take another one? Yeah. And that doesn't come off as a problem to you?
Yeah.
It doesn't? And when you're looking at franchises like the Packers and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers that said, shit, I don't give a damn that we got 2-3 receivers up in here. Yeah. This is the way of the land right now. We want you to fear, us, plus that's what they lean into. Oh, by the way, we can run the ball too. Let's not get it twisted. The Packers signed Jacobs. The Bucks have a quality backfield and scheme. At least they did. We'll see what happens with their offensive coordinator leaving. And guess what? They didn't draft the first round running back. They didn't draft the first round.
I'm just like, why can't Philly develop guys like Jordan? Why can Philly develop guys like Jordan Mailata, and who did they just ship away last year, Sky? Who was the guard that was terrible? He comes to Philly.
Isaac Seumalo or
no, it was
Mekhi Becton.
Mekhi Becton.
Oh, Becton. Yeah,
Well,
a bust.
Yeah,
and
he
developed.
comes in there and plays good.
Because coaching matters, bro.
Yeah.
For Jerry Jones told you in 1990, what was it, 3? Coaching don't matter to that. He don't care. 500 players can coach this team.
I'm just with Sky, bro. Just malpractice, bro. This is malpractice, guys. I know, because what I'm saying is
Starks,
this.
Man. Starks split.
And Baltimore.
Ooh, I love that.
Yeah. And what do the Ravens do? Just stand in there and just
they always
great players.
take good.
Yeah.
Him and Kyle Hamilton.
Him and Kyle Hamilton, fam. I love that pick for them.
Yeah. I mean, like,
you know what's weird for the Cowboys though? They love cheap labor, but if you look at wide receiver contracts versus offensive guard contracts, like would you the 12th highest paid guard in the league is $10 million.
Yeah.
Right? Okay. The wide receiver, go look at the 10th highest paid wide receiver and tell me how much they're making. If you can get good production out of a first round pick wide receiver and have him under contract, you are getting surplus value. And that's what I don't understand about. Do they have analytic guys in there?
Come on, Zach. I'm clipping that shit up. What time is it? 11, 12? Come on, man. Because now that needs to be discussed, man. For a team
the analytics should tell you that.
They don't, Zach. They got a dude that was working at Arby's running their money, bro. And a Nepo baby. Okay? So they don't have that. They hired John Parks and them boys, and they told John Park to park his ass in the back of the Star. They clearly not using him. Okay?
Yep.
So that's an excellent point. And that goes back to not spending money in free agency, on the line. Bro, you won't break the bank. You're not spending $25 million per year on a quality offensive lineman. You're going to spend $25 million a year on a quality receiver, brother.
A bad one. Did Diggs not or a washed up one? Diggs got what, 20 million?
Yeah.
Like even the 20th highest paid are going for so much money. It doesn't make any sense. You want your wide receiver.
I'm sitting here advocating for him to essentially they're going to have to spend money now on receiver, in my opinion, unless they take one in round 2, which we'll see. Go get me Jameson. Go get me Jameson. Give up your 3rd round pick. Go get me Jameson. Hopefully he ain't going to cost you more than 20 mil, and just roll, bro. You just roll and you hope that's enough. And if they can do that, I will feel a lot better. I feel a lot better if they can go get me a bona fide guy at wide receiver here next to CD Lamb. I don't want an Alfred. I want a legitimate legitimate Robin.
Yeah, 100%.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man. Yeah, I just it'll be interesting, Scott. Let's hope that they actually do the right thing and go get a receiver. At some point, I would probably go through free agency at this point. I just don't know, because I think what I'm scared of is Shoddy is going to go the whole. I think Shoddy's going to go the whole. Oh, we believe in Jalen Tolbert route.
But Foots, if that's the case,
I hope Shoddy doesn't. But I feel it, bro.
Somebody in that front office is grossly overlooking their books. Jalen Tolbert has 1 year left. He does not stop me from taking a receiver. Purely because he might not be around after next year, but also purely because he ain't like that.
Yeah,
I'm sorry for getting. I was trying to be more professional, but it's just
these are just the questions that I have, because think about it, Sky. Think about it. Will our 2nd round receiver really be able to beat out Jalen Tolbert? Let's talk about that. Let's have this high level conversation.
Let's look at some that some receivers that are still left on the board, and let's have a conversation, because I do think there might be some, but maybe
Burden is the one. But I just know Burden's gonna. I'm not getting my hopes up. We're sitting there at pick 44. I know he's gonna go 2 picks and 3 picks before us.
I think Jaden Higgins.
Jaden Higgins is the one.
Yeah.
Will they draft Jaden Higgins, Sky? They'll fucking excuse me. They'll draft. They'll draft.
Yeah,
know who they'll draft. You know who they'll draft, Sky. They'll draft. I wouldn't be mad at Schlesinger, but like Zach said, D tackle, come on down. Which I wouldn't be mad at Tyleik Williams. I would love Tyleik Williams with a 1st round receiver. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
But listen, if they go out and draft Tyleik Williams tomorrow, I'll be okay, because that's the trench that I want to get right. that side. Like coach the offensive lineman, draft the defensive tackle. That's why I'm passionate.
We brought that up on the mock draft. The real trench conversation that the whole team trenches shouldn't even use the term trenches. Don't use the term trenches. Use team offensive line, because you're ignoring the other side of the freaking ball. For people who want to do the tribalism shit, for people who want to, and my bad for Zach probably like, I ain't use that. For people that want to do the either or, stand on this side, your team offensive line, you ain't team trenches, playboy. You're not really team trenches, because if you were, we don't have the trenches on the defense side of the ball, and they didn't go.
There goes Tyreek Williams. Damn.
And they didn't go sign a 5 defensive linemen. They signed one on a 1-year deal who ain't nothing but a backup 3-tech.
Yeah. No, I'm with you.
I just think they haven't done anything compared to last year. Like, name one spot that they've improved? Linebacker? I mean, where have they gotten better? Diggs ain't going to be here or
facts.
Play that much.
They have not gotten better anywhere, in my opinion. But linebacker, I do think is the conversation, because I do think Sanborn, I think, is going to be pretty solid. But guess what? You have to now say, well, there's no Demo. So last year you had Demo with Eric Kendricks. So they were better last year. They weren't better this year.
Yeah, I completely agree, bro.
I try to tell people quantity does not mean quality. Everybody was jumping for joy because we signed all these players. Screw the quantity. Get me the quality. I would have took 5 super quality players over 12 1 year, and respectfully as hell, Jags.
Yeah. This is the fun of it, because I would love to be wrong, right? Like, I want to be wrong
about
Scott.
what? We're not wrong about the team building. Now we're talking about the team building. I'll fight you on Booker.
Yeah,
I'll fight you on Booker. I think Booker's gonna be a good player. It's about the team building. We ain't wrong on that. And if you don't want to hear this, bye. If it hurts your feelings that we're telling you the truth, listen, man. I'll holler at you. Okay,
no, you're right.
And I'm not trying to my bad to Zach's channel, because I've done this on foot, but I ain't trying to kick nobody off Zach's channel. No. But what I'm getting at is, this is just the truth about how they build their squad, bro. And if you can't handle that, then it is what it is.
And that's the truth. Like, even if Tyler Booker pans out, that doesn't make it the right pick.
Yeah.
Just because it pans out. Like, what if one of the wide receiver, Golden, turns out to be a dog, or like Booker or whatever, like right guard, positional value wise, using analytics, all of that stuff. It just doesn't make sense. And then you just compile all the stuff that they've continued to do. So I'm looking at the second round wide receivers. My concern is they're going to get a body exactly like they already have. And that's another problem. They draft where they're comfortable. I just 6'2", 200 pounds. Like, that's kind of where they're looking at with.
They've always like those 6'2" range, and not really a burner, possession pounds, guy, like, roughly 200. Yeah.
I would love Jalen Noel. You're talking about a guy that, like, reminds me of Amon-Ra St. Brown. I don't even know if he makes it to 44. Jaden Higgins, like him a lot. He's a little bit bigger, 6'4".
Yeah.
Who do you think, Foots, if you got to take a wide receiver in the second round? What name do you like that's on
Jaden Higgins? Jaden Higgins. My dream is Jaden Higgins, and that would be my dream. And then pray for a Brashard Smith in the third round. But I don't want to get my hopes up for anything this team does right now, because I think I don't agree with how they drafted in the first round, and I'll make it make sense, but I still don't have to agree with it. You know what I mean? And I think that's a good thing. Like, that's what me and Sky kind of been talking about. Even when Voch was on, like, not mad at Voch, I just simply don't agree with it. But Jaden Higgins, because I think he's a big body, he's an archetype that you don't have on this team, and he has confidence. The problem with this room is, outside of CD, like, who's confident to y'all?
That's an excellent point about that. Like, Jalen gets shook, and he kind of needs to be his hand held to get confidence, right? Yeah. We saw that earlier in his career. And Jalen Tolbert we're talking about. Brooks definitely lost his confidence. That Saints game, it was a wrap. Like you saw it. You just saw it in he's a 7th round receiver. You had people thinking he was the next coming. He's a 7th round receiver. Zach, you laid out the numbers. Once you get past that 2nd round or 3rd round, whichever it was, it's a tough hit rate. So expecting your 7th round receiver to come in here and be that guy was just silly. I think Turp has confidence, but Turp is a special team receiver.
That's a great name. Yeah. I think Turp and Mingo play that way, like they're wired that way.
Nah, I think Mingo needs to get his confidence back too.
You think so?
Yes, your 2nd round bust right now. Got traded by the lowly Carolina Panthers. Got to Dallas, played 8 games, had 5 receptions. He needs. It's not that. It's not. I'm not saying that he can't capture it. It's just that
that's true, Sky.
I don't think he was out there. Because look,
well, what?
Go ahead.
What's wild is they traded for a receiver they already had.
Yeah, same type players.
The type, yeah.
Yeah, like you traded for a guy that didn't pan out with the same body type, with the same issues, the confidence problems that other guys already on your team have. And then you had drafted another receiver in Ryan Flournoy in the 6th round. That was like him too.
That's really more of what I was talking about. Like he's more Ryan Flournoy.
Yeah, I think
Zach. It goes back to they just do shit.
Yeah,
they're like, dude, that name's sick. Get Ryan Flournoy in here. Let's go. It's crazy, dude.
Yeah, and I hate when they kind of show. I hate when they show the kids that don't get picked. That's just
who they show. I wasn't.
They showed Mike Green. He had his whole family, and it's just like I just don't like that. But I'll say this: there's going to be some good players there in the 2nd round, guys. And the pool looks like, as I'm looking at it, it looks really good. The name, honestly, Sky, for me is Jaden Higgins, and another name is Kyle Williams. But
I want to say Kyle Williams. That's exactly
Kyle Williams. I don't know if he fits what Dallas wants to do, but we need that type. That's why I would have been okay with Matthew Golden, like a route runner, and he wins on the edge. People will probably look at him as a slot, but he wins on the edge. Wow, Josh Connolly. Did Josh Simmons get drafted? Yeah. Because Josh Connolly going over Simmons is interesting.
There must be something really wrong with that knee.
Well, remember I told you the character.
Wasn't it a patella?
It was.
Wasn't it more? I think the patella is more serious than just a typical ACL, right?
Yeah, and they don't. I think they think he's healthy. I think his team put out something that he would be healthy, but I don't know. If he's healthy. Washington going Connerly. I'm great with that because he struggles with speed, so that's a great pick. They went O-line, so
I'm shots, by the way, I ain't talking about, but shouts out to Tyleik Williams going the 1st. I thought he was a fantastic player. Remember we took him, it was a steal for me.
Yeah.
At 44.
Yeah.
In a draft that so the board is kind of touching tags with that group between like what 11 and 35, 50, 40. Yep. A guy like him belongs in that discussion in the 1st round. The Lions, they just got another one. Aleem McNeil, Tyleik Williams. I'll be honest with you. I'd have took his ass over Tyler Booker. Well, not at 12, but you know what I'm saying? I would have rather had him. I just believe that we needed to address the other side of the ball. I would have tried to trade. I don't give a damn about value at this point, being pissed off about value. If I could have got a 4th round pick to get down to 18, 20, 21 and took Harmon or Williams or whatever, Ibuka, whoever, I'd have loved that way more.
Yeah. No,
I genuinely think they thought they were going to have a traded partner.
That's where I think when it comes out in the wash.
Not you, Zach. Them. The Cowboys aren't paying attention. Yeah. Why would you believe that? Definitely when you look at the board, what am I coming up for?
Yeah.
At
exactly. It's like they got on the clock and they're like, "Oh, dude, nobody's called us. Nobody's called us. Like, you should have had this figured out."
Yeah.
As soon as you saw the board falling the way it was, you should have been trying to convince some team. Like, I don't know. You should have been talking to people, but it's tough. It makes us so mad, but there really ain't much we can do about it but break it down. I mean, I understand the offensive lineman pick. I do. But at some point, you got to give up on that shit. Give up on the offensive line. and go somewhere else. Try something new.
We'll all do content. We'll watch film. And I know how Tyler Booker can work. I do. Scott, you talk scheme all the time. I want to see the scheme marry and master married to his strengths.
It
number
sounds
one.
like that's what they're going to do.
Okay. Well, if you could sell me on a scheme being married to Tyler Booker's strengths, then I'm okay with the pick. And that'll probably be my last tweet. Huh?
I'm trying not to be this guy, but
yeah,
I don't. Damn it! I don't want to say this and I don't necessarily think that really matter. Like it's going to matter.
No, you good. You good.
I don't think it's going to matter at the end of the day. Like you can tailor the scheme to Tyler not Smith, not Guyton, Tyler Booker, right? And what I mean by matter, is, is that going to be enough to get you where you want to go?
That's
right. Is this process, is marrying the scheme, like is tailoring it, is it going to be, are you going to be good? Are you going to be good on the interior? I absolutely think so. We've been there. We've been good on the interior. We've been amazing on the offensive line. Amazing. Yeah. We had a 1.5 year run, maybe, of a dope wide receiver combo. We've had no run of a great defensive line, like especially on the interior. We had a good run at running back. Okay, there's no doubting that. We Ezekiel Elliott getting taken in the first round. We had a good run. We marked DeMarco Murray a little bit, but I think they'll take a running back. I just have seen this before, and I'm worried they're going to sell us on Mingo and maybe even those backs. But we have to wait to day 2. All we can do is talk about what is right now. We'll know more tomorrow.
No, I'll be honest with you. In passing, I watched about 3 games from Tyler Booker. Like I said, I saw film where he struggled with quickness, but I did see film where he moved people. Like he does move people.
Oh, he's a motherfucking mover.
He moves people. And his when I say he's built top heavy, is he gets lungy too. But I also think that when he latches on, you're not getting up off of him.
I think he's a fantastic pass blocker. That's why I'm like, Dak can step up. Now who he's stepping up and throwing to? That's what that 2B.
And then let me ask you this, Scott. Are you going receiver or running back with the next pick?
I would like to do. I feel like this draft is so deep at running back. I can wait to the 3rd round.
Can you wait to get a lead guy? I don't want Javonte because I don't want
worried about
Shoddy doing. Yeah,
I'm not worried about that. Here's why. I don't need you. First of all, you can get a lead guy in a committee or a duo. I don't need a 20-25 carry guy. It'd be nice to have one. I'm not saying I don't need it. I don't need to have a 20-25 carry guy. If I can get me some complimentary backs in this draft, which I think you can. I think you can get you a guy in round 3, get you a guy in round 5, or and move and be good. But you have to use them. Look at the Bucks. Like you have to do it. My worry, and I don't know if I talked about this on the show, but I talked about it. I think I did talk about it in the show. Is the Cowboys seem to only know how to use a workhorse back. They've only had sustained success at the running back position with a workhorse back, and they've had scattered success with a tandem. You could try to scream Tony Pollard, Zeke at me all you want. That was a 1.5 years, and it took us bullying them to get Tony involved.
I was going to say they didn't even do it right.
They didn't even do it right. It's mostly been Ezekiel Elliott, lead back, good guy. Run DMC had lead back 1 year, good guy. Obviously, Emmitt Smith, Tony Dorsett, like we can go all the way back, but they haven't had a lot of success learning how to use, tandems or committee approaches consistently. They've scattered it. They've had the Tashard Choice, Felix Jones, Marion Barber thing for one time. They've had Felix, he get hurt all the damn time, Marion Barber, but no sustained success doing that. You would hope Clayton Adams and Shoddy can maybe implement more of a legitimate tandem approach because they've come from that. Like Clayton Adams got to the Colts year 1 with Marlon Mack or somebody. It might not have been Marlon Mack. Year 1 in Indianapolis, they were a top 10 rushing team for the first time in 2 decades. Okay. Schottenheimer had a tandem committee type deal going on in Seattle. Granted, he did have a lead back, but it was still multiple backs that participated. Plus, throughout his Marty ball, he's had multiple backs. McCarthy never really gave a damn about it. The Cowboys never really gave a damn about it. I'm just hoping that these coaches emphasize it more because that's their nature. And if that's their nature, get me Martinez and Brashard Smith and let's roll, baby.
Yeah.
That's exactly that's the name that I was about to say. Give me Martinez in the third and get Rashard Smith in the fifth. We're rolling.
Let's boogie at running
Let's
back.
roll.
That's why I don't care about. I don't need to take a lead guy in round 2. I don't know if I'm finding me that combination at receiver at 76 and 148.
Yeah.
Sorry to be long-winded. Sorry.
No. I was listening, Sky, and I'm
trying. Harrison.
That's my guy. That's our guy, Zach. I'm trying to keep my face like positive, like.
Don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. Be true to how you feel.
So
brother.
But honestly, what you just explained, Scott, was really good. Like, I think what needs to happen is, I just made this whole spiel about running back, but now that I hear you guys make it make sense again, I don't have a problem with being wrong. I want to see somebody drafted with confidence. I can't say that enough. Like, Tet plays confident. Tyler Booker plays confident.
I'm about to say Booker confident.
Yeah, he plays confident. I mean, the way he ran up there, smacked it. I mean, all that cool. Got to show and prove. But I just want to see. I'm talking about in the weaponry room, right? In the room where you're helping out 4. I want to see somebody who can break a tackle. And 88. But 4 running the ball, like, okay, if they go out tomorrow and they draft Quinshon Judkins,
this is
weird. Cool.
It's a weird trade. Sorry, we got to trade. It's just I don't even know if it's worth, but Philadelphia Eagles just trade. Did they trade out
of the first round?
No, they traded up one spot with Kansas City. They flipped their
picks. Traded up one spot. This is very strange. I'm sorry. Just what are they trading up for that? But go ahead, Foots.
No, I mean I think my overarching point is, man, like, just confidence, right? Still confidence.
Oh boy. So we can spoil the picks now. I don't really care because the Cowboys, they just got Jahad Campbell.
And I think anybody that was drafted in Philly, we'd be like, they just keep making smart decisions. I hate it.
That's a hell of a value pick right there, bro. I mean, it's linebacker, so linebacker about the second round. So actually, it's just a standard pick. But
and the sad thing is, guys, we'll be looking at some defenders tomorrow that we're like, I want that. Like, I want Carson Schwarzenegger, but now I feel like this team is forced to draft a receiver or a running back. Like, if Carson Schwarzenegger is on the board,
we can take a linebacker tomorrow.
I know, but that's the problem, bro. I know,
that's how I feel with
that's been my boy, Sky. And you see what I'm saying now, bro? Now I know I'm not crazy. Like, yo,
bro, the guard in round 1 screws up your entire plan because you don't have a 4th round pick.
You feel me though? Still now, like, I think I just had my eureka moment because you could be staring at Carson Schwarzenegger tomorrow. And this team has to draft a receiver or running back. That's why I'm upset.
I'm telling you what I'm fearing, and I don't want to lean into the fear, but it's just only because I brought it up before. I am scared as all get out that they are truly going to say we traded for Jonathan Mingo. We don't need one. I'm nervous, brother. I didn't want to believe that. I didn't, but you had two or three if you count losing Burden, but you had 3 dudes, in my opinion, staring right at you, and you said, nah. And remember what happened after CD Lamb signed a contract? Remember what happened?
Yeah.
Stephen Jones came out and said, we're going to need more from you. More. They basically saying, you don't get a running mate. We want more. Only thing that confuses me is when they traded for and signed Amari Cooper, the very next year they took CeeDee Lamb because it fell to him in their laps. Almost 5 picks later, but similar, right? Now, those guys aren't CeeDee Lamb. I totally get it. But you have a CeeDee Lamb who's better than Amari Cooper. You didn't need a CeeDee Lamb. You need somebody that can help that mother out. Jordan Addison ain't CeeDee Lamb or Justin Jefferson. He helping that mother out, though, ain't he?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it just all goes back to simply they're just doing shit. I mean, that's really it. Like, there's no plan. There's no nothing. So, and it sucks that they don't see the value. I mean, I don't know if it's ego, if it's just like they live in such a bubble, like a bunch of yes men, like don't know what it is. But typically, if somebody is doing something well, you'll look over there and be like, oh, well, what are they doing? You take something from somebody,
talk to them,
and use a little bit, and then you don't have to copy them, but like, you know what I'm saying? Just, I don't know if it's an ego thing or if it's just living in a bubble thing or combination of a bunch of things.
Yeah.
Oh, did the Chiefs just get Luther Burden?
What?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That's get ready.
This happens every
year. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
The Eagles and the Chiefs will pick at 31 and 32, and they'll get top 15 players.
And the thing, what I love about the Chiefs, they don't give a damn, bro. They're the same way as the Eagles. And I don't want to hear this Dak Prescott needs to whatever. The Chiefs paid one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time in my life $500 bajillion and still traded for Hopkins and still traded for Kadarius Toney and still took Sky Moore in the second round and still took another second round receiver and still, I don't know if they're going to do it, but
Xavier Worthy.
And still, are they about to take Luther Burden? Is that what's about to happen here? And y'all want to sit here and tell me that Dak has to go out there with Jalen Tolbert and Jalen Brooks and Kevontae Turpin? Get out of here with that.
And you know what's even funnier? They switch left tackles every single year.
They'll switch their I go trade for Orlando Brown.
Or like, our left tackles they sucked last year. We made it to the Super Bowl, but they were terrible. They'll just go pick some randos off the street, try that, and if it don't work, but they're just drafting receiver after receiver for the best quarterback in the league. But Dak, he's supposed to be throwing to Walmart employees. I don't get it, dude.
No, it might be the ego, like you're saying. Like they are in this thing where if I pay you, I'm not trying to pay anybody else. You know what I'm saying? Now they did pay they picked Michael Gallup over Mark Cooper, which is strange, but I guess they got rid of Mark Cooper. So they didn't necessarily pay two receivers. That's why, I'm sorry, go get Jamison Williams and whatever. Let's rock. Go pay him.
I would like that over a second round running back. A second round wide receiver at this point.
Yeah. I feel like that has to be in the works. Right? Are we trying to win? Or trying to get better next year? Are you getting better or not improving your receiving room?
Well, I asked Foots this the other day. I'm like, why sign Dak to the long-term deal? And why sign CD? And why try to get the Micah deal done? If you're not going to try your absolute hardest, I would rather them just completely ruin their salary cap over the next 4 years and put up with bad salary cap in 4 years. We'll worry about it then. Push everything down the road.
Never go all in.
If you think that they can win it, then try to win it. Let's try to put the pieces together to do it. But they're so worried about what their books are going to look like 8 years from now that it's ruining now.
And I'm not even asking for them to ruin their cap. I'm just asking them to be a little bit more aggressive. That's all.
Yeah, and that's the crazy part. They don't even have to ruin it.
Yeah. I'm gonna ask them to go all New York Giants in 2016. They spent $200 million in free agency. It worked. They were a good team that year. I think they went to the playoffs, but I'm not asking to do that. I'm just want the bare minimum. And what I'm tired of is, people trying to tell me that's me complaining.
You're not,
bro. That's just me wanting my team to do what other championship organizations or better organizations are doing around the league. That's all I care about. And if it doesn't work out, then at least I knew that my team actually tried their hardest, and they didn't get stuck with the ego. They didn't get bullish on their ways, which hasn't worked in 30. You know what I'm saying? They didn't do that. They actually thought outside the box and tried to legitimately try to improve the team. Yeah. Can you really tell me this organization legitimately tried to improve the team the last 2 off seasons? I ain't even talking about the draft because we don't know. It's still out for these draft picks. Before the draft, after can you legitimately tell me they're trying to improve the team to win the championship? You're lying to yourself, or you've been kidnapped by the Joneses and you have Stockholm syndrome. Just point blank. Period.
Yeah. I just think that if they did go Luther Burden, it just proves why the Chiefs are who they are. Yeah, they
somebody in the
struggle.
chat said
Oh, maybe
that,
they, maybe they,
I don't think that was
okay. Maybe they'll go line here, but I just,
they went offensive line.
No, I said maybe they do go
okay.
line here. They haven't. And this is the last pick of the first round, right?
Last pick of the first round. Yep, last pick of the first round. Let's kind of run off these last since our pick, right? Well, no, we talked about them. All right, so Gray Zabel went 18 to Seattle. Emeka Booker went to, man, that's a fun room. That is a fun room. To Tampa. Jade Barron went to the Broncos. Derek Harmon went to the Steelers. I love that defensive line. You talk about building the trenches. They building that defensive line, brother. That front seven, if you want to include the rushers. Marion Hampton, I mean, talk about a hardball pick. Went to the Chargers, brother. That is a hardball pick. Matthew Golden into another really good room. Went to the Packers. Donovan Jackson, offensive guard, Iowa State, went to the Vikings. Jackson Dart, they traded up. The New York Giants did. James Pierce went to Tennessee. Malachi Starks went to Georgia. Tyleek Williams went to Detroit. Josh Conley Jr., drafted by Washington. Maxwell Harrison, the cornerback, Kentucky, went to the Bills. Jahad Campbell went to the Eagles. And we are about to get the pick for the Chiefs to close out the first round of the NFL draft.
I think this might be Josh Simmons since we're doing spoilers. Which I think
that makes sense.
There. Yeah, that
makes
sense.
My goodness, that makes so much sense.
I mean, that makes a lot of sense for them. I think with I think that pick, I wouldn't have been mad at them going Luther Burden because they could have made it make sense. So when we look at the board, when the dust settles, we still have a lot of players.
Will Johnson, Mike Green.
Apparently, I'll do some research on what's going on with Will Johnson. I don't know Sky as far as the medical, because there's no way. I mean, the tape. There's no way he should have fell out of the first round. We talked about him as a guy that could take a 12. And then if the medical isn't good, I don't want him at 44. And
here's the thing about 44, Zach and Foots, just like at 12, there's going to be a good player. It's just a matter of do you get cute? Do you get cute, or do you stick to your board and take that good player? I can't wait to hear the presser. They're going to probably sell us that Booker was 10th overall, and if that's the case, I can't be mad at their thought process because I did say at that high you got to stick to your board, bro. You cannot play around, and if they're not lying to us, because they could easily lie to us. I remember though the Tyler Smith, he was like, "Look, y'all." He was 15. Look, it's right here. We got him at 24, and he was 15. And damn it, he was 15. They put his shoulders, unless they lie. And he played like a top 15 player, right? So if they come and say, look, y'all, Tyler Booker was number 8 on our board. We got him at 12. I don't know what y'all talking about.
The interesting thing is that Travion Henderson is still on the board.
I'll play running backs.
That's the one that I know you said, Sky, you would probably go receiver. If Henderson's on the board, I would sprint to the podium. But they don't care what I think. Now
Fuzz, that would definitely test the hell out of me.
Right?
Because I'm a big Henderson fan. Because I think he's one of those dual guys. Now, I don't want to lean on him as my 18, 20 touch guy a game, more so sticking that 14, 17
yeah, we talked
range.
about that. Yeah.
And get him another guy. Fuzz, I'd be tempted. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, but I like what you guys said about receiver. I think you guys have sold me there. I'm gonna just this is what I'm gonna do.
If I had a board, I don't know that I have a receiver over Henderson there, bro. I don't think
that's what I'm saying. Like I didn't do a top 100 this year. I just ranked everybody. I listen. I had Travion Henderson as my top rated back, but did Hampton go yet? I think Hampton went.
Yeah, Marion. Yeah, he went to the Chargers. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, so Hampton's the Chargers. So I had him as my second back, Henderson. And I would pick Henderson and sleep like a baby. But again, they don't care what I think. I think that I like your thoughts. I like your thoughts, Sky. Your thoughts are get the receiver and then just wait till the third to get the running back and to just pray for the rest of the draft.
Well, let me go ahead, Zach. But
I think it's I like to look at especially the second, third round like a combination of the two. Like you take Henderson at running back. Okay, would you rather have Henderson and Jalen Royals, or think of a third round receiver? And then, or would you rather have Jaden Higgins and pair him with RJ Harvey. That's kind of, I know nothing's guaranteed in the draft. You're not guaranteed to get any of those guys at any spot. But like I've talked about, the fall off, maybe a Damian Martinez would be there in the 3rd round.
You've been so high on Martinez.
I love Martinez's mentality.
I think there's a chance he's a second rounder.
You've been so consistent with Martinez.
I think it will take a run, Zach, and there hasn't been a run yet. And remember that run happened in the 4th round last year.
It was brutal.
It was brutal, but I don't know if there's going to be that kind of run in the second. We're going to see in this deep draft. But honestly, Foots, the more we're talking about this, something that clicked that actually leans more to your thought process of running back tomorrow. Is there some thinking that, okay, we took a role grading power guard, pure guard. Granted, I think he's a fantastic pass, but I think he can pass block his ass off. But we did take a power guard. We're going to be doing more power gap duo type things. They are tailoring it to him. And honestly, to be honest, they're tailoring it to BB and Tyler Smith too. Like, no one wants to talk about this. I brought it up, but Tyler Smith ain't the most amazing puller. He's gotten better. He's had to work.
You said that was the first thing you said. I've
talked about this a lot with Professor O over the years. Going back and watching the tape after I'm just like, hey man, we look sloppy. Like everybody looks just looks a mess when they pull. And that could be coaching. I think a lot of that's coaching when an entire unit is struggling in that manner. But this isn't the first year for Tyler. This is 3 years where he's an average puller. Where he has saving grace is that you better hope like hell he don't catch you. Yeah. Because if he catch you, he can dirt the hell out of you because he's a powerful human being. BB, for as much as we talk about Tyler Booker being average feet, BB can get to the second level because I just think BB has the know-how. BB is not this amazing athlete. He's not a poor one. He's not an amazing one either. So listening to Vosh talk about how they're on the phone saying, yeah, we're going to be doing more and more of this, more of that, I think they're leaning into their interior fellas. They're leaning into the power guys. They don't want these guys having to do a whole bunch of lateral stuff 70% of the time, right? If they're going to do power ball, they're going to do power ball. Long-winded, bringing it back to my original point. If that's the case, is running back the pick in round 2? Do you get that guy you talked about, Foots, that lead guy or that power guy to complement a power offense? I think I can wait for that, but maybe they're pairing their second round pick with their first round pick.
Yeah, nah, for sure. And that's what I'm thinking. That was like my first line of thought, right? Like, you do that because, I think that, my bad, y'all hear that? I think that that. Oh, I'm sorry. I think that you do that, Sky, right? To say this is the attitude we want to play with. And if that's the case, I can't be mad at it. I'll sleep on it. I'll make it make sense. But hey, I'll say this: we had a great time tonight. Oh, my bad, guys.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm still good. So I say still going. I'm still fired up. Zach, as much as I say that though, what do we kind of reveal in the first round here? That Dallas does shit that they're comfortable with. They haven't taken the second round back. Shit, I don't even know. They haven't taken a running back since Ezekiel Elliott higher than the 4th round.
Yeah, and they don't spend those high picks on wide receivers either. I'm telling you, it's gonna be a. That's what makes me. I gotta feel. What are we gonna do if it's neither?
I think it's corner. If we're going off of history, it could be corner.
Yeah,
corner, edge.
We keep talking about. I'm not saying they would. I'm just saying. We keep talking about what makes sense. But they do what's comfortable.
Yep. They're happy with their evaluations at certain positions, and whether the Cowboys need it or not, they take it.
And God
or
forbid,
if it makes sense or not, they take it.
God forbid it don't work out. Like when I say don't work out, like they took Tyler, was it Hill? Forget his first name. Hill in the second round.
Tristan Hill.
Tristan Hill. Boy, they ain't touched a defensive tackle in the first 2 days. For 5 years.
And that's the thing. They get scared and they'll run away from it when they got a good player sitting there.
They took Mozzie. I don't know if they're going to touch the defense. I don't know.
They won't until 2028, until they get over the Mozzie thing, and then they're like, but they just can't look back and admit that they reached at certain points and accept it, and then pick another one,
a better one, right? A better one. Like, bro, you realize when they took Bohanna, that was the first true one tech that they took since like 2000 ever. Yeah. Like in any place, any part of the draft, they didn't take a guy that weighed more than 310 pounds, if that, in the draft, period, until Bohanna.
And then Jerry will get on the mic after a playoff game where they got the ball ran down their throat and be like, I just can't understand why.
It's a defensive tackle. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Like, Jerry will get on there, and then they don't draft a defensive tackle like a legit run stuffer over 315 pounds, and then Jerry will get on the mic after a playoff game and can't understand why they just got ran over. Like, I just don't get it. I don't get it. Like,
and you know,
what do you mean you don't get it?
I know.
You spent money on Leroy Glover and it paid off for you, and you never went back to that well. You draft Ezekiel Elliott, you draft Des Bryant, CeeDee Lamb early in the first round, and you don't care about that. You know, but you gonna take them all in linemen, boy. We gonna you hit on them old linemen, and you gonna lean on that. And hey, let's just hope that this is more of their history than it is their past history than it is their recent history, right? And again, the jury is still out on Tyler Guyton. I personally think, fellas, Tyler Guyton will be better under this coaching regime.
I agree.
The reason why I never snapped about Tyler Guyton last year, because I always looked at him as a future pick. I didn't think 24 was the year. I thought 25 and beyond. Cooper Beebe, I think is going to be fine. It's going to be fantastic. He's going to be a stalwart for you at the middle. Tyler Smith is Tyler Smith. Terrence, this your last. Hey, Cuzzo, it's your last chance, Cuzzo. Okay, we'll see about him. And now you got Tyler Booker. So, you know what I don't want to hear is no more excuses about allocating any more resources up there. And this goes back to the argument we were having with Vach. God forbid somebody doesn't work out. I ain't talking about one of the top. Anybody. I don't give a damn. I don't care if Tyler Smith goes down. I don't care if BB has a down year. I don't care if Tyler Guyton doesn't show improvement. I don't care if it's Booker. I don't care if it's Steele. If one person does not have a good year up there, are we going to be having a conversation about offensive line again? Because of the way they move. That's a scary thought, bro.
Very.
That's a scary thought. And don't say, Sky, that's a stupid. What do you mean? Is it? They just took 1, 2, 3 offensive linemen in the last 3 drafts in first round, third round. It ain't stupid. I'm sorry, 4. My bad. 4 offensive linemen. 3 in the first round, 1 in the third round. And you going to try to tell me that it's stupid to think they won't do that shit again?
But they got a good thing Dak has all that up front, because he's throwing to 1 first-round pick, a third-round pick that didn't play really in his rookie year. Jalen, what's his name? Jalen Brooks is a 7th rounder. Ferran Flournoy is a 6th rounder. Kevontae Turpin's an undrafted free agent. Like,
yeah, it's crazy, bro.
Like, it's kind of spread the wealth a little bit here, you know? Like, sprinkle some help at the wide receiver room just every once in a while.
I know they cooking Clarence Hill. I ain't even. I mean, I got it. I'm sorry, I'm being messy now, but I want to go see what they're saying about Clarence Hill, because Clarence Hill was 10 toes down. We ain't taking no offensive guard. Oh, he finna get cooked in the chat on Twitter. Oh, they finna cook him.
We'll see. Hopefully they do the right. I don't even know what the right thing is anymore. You know what I mean?
We just I personally think we did a fantastic job laying it all out. Yeah. I think we did a hell of a job laying it all out for tomorrow. The good thing is, some people say they couldn't mess this up, and they believe they messed it up. The good thing is, you have so good and bad. You have so many needs. You should be able to take a guy that can come in here. Like, that's the thing about Booker. And anybody you were taking, I said this many times, nobody in free agency stops you from taking any position in the draft where they can't come in here and upgrade your team. Booker upgrades your roster, or upgrades your position. Booker upgrades a position. That doesn't mean that's a position that, you know, probably should have been taken, but he upgrades right guard. No doubt about it, right? Round 2, I still think there are players that should be there that come in and can upgrade and be a starter. Hopefully, no offense to Marshawn Nealon. Hopefully, it's not a Nealon situation where Nealon, I like Nealon, a prospect, but Nealon didn't come in and take it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I kind of am losing a little bit of faith with the way this team drafts. So hopefully, I'm taking a big wait and see approach.
I looked over at Jack Campbell, said, O-line fixed yet? Brother, they told me the O-line was fixed. And if you think I'm lying, go watch the draft. Go watch the draft from last year. Go look at the comments. I was told the offensive line was fixed last year. I was out though. Offensive line fixed. And we right back here drafting the offensive line again. This time with your second most valuable pick, right? Or third most since 2000 and like what? Hell, man. Early 2000s, your third most valuable pick, 2016, 2021, and this year, right?
This one.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, 2016. Yeah. Those are your third most valuable pick in like the last 15 years.
And you spend it on an interior offensive line.
Okay. You better hope like hell you Quentin Nelson.
And you know what? I don't think Tyler Booker's a bad player. Like I think he'll be good, but
this is not a Booker thing to me.
Nope. It's all for me. It's positional value. You look
this
at
is a Cowboy thing. Even beyond that, to me, Zach. Even beyond that, bro. Because like a dude's a dude. At the end of the day, I feel you. The positional value does matter, but bro, if a dude's a dude and he comes in and he's all pro, do you really care at the end of the day if that dude's all pro? But it's about the process to me. In the Cowboys process, I'm fine with this being the pick. If say you went out and you got a receiver, if you traded for that corner, if you solidify defensive line, but they don't do that. So it puts the emphasis on the value, and you can't get mad at people that bring up value, positional value, because they're not doing positional value in free agency. They're doing positional value in trade. So
yeah.
Man, I want to hear Tyler Booker. He's talking right now on Bleacher Report, but I'll get to all this stuff.
Yeah. I'm just tired, fellas.
I just looked over.
I can tell Puss is tired.
I'm tired, man, because I can see the writing on the wall with some of this stuff. Because I think I don't know. In closing, man, I'm tired, man.
I hear you, bro. I see.
I'm tired. I'm mentally drained.
You gotta adopt my mentality when it comes to this draft, bro. Don't get emotionally attached, fam.
No, it's not that. I wish it. I don't know. Like now, I think nothing that bothers me too is just like so many people say Fuss is crying and whining. It's not that, bro. Like that shit is whack and weak, bro. Like it's not that. I'm looking at what everybody has come to me and say, oh, we need help at this place. So I make it make sense. I'm all about running the ball. But then y'all get on the app or y'all get on here and say Fuss is whining, crying. I don't think that somebody, I don't know. I just think that it's one of those things. It's just like, man, when you talk about helping your quarterback, really, it's on the edge, man. It's with with the weapon. Like it's just I believe that. You get what I'm saying? And like I said, I would love to be wrong about Tyler Booker. I hope that I am. This isn't me just taking the other side. This is something that I said I was out front about. So it is what it is. Tyler Booker's a Cowboy, and we're gonna make it make sense.
Man, let's all give our guy, our brother Foots a hug, man. You sound defeated. You don't sound tired. You sound defeated, and I get it. I get it.
It's team, bro. Like I get it now. Like we everybody excited in April, but come November when we're doing a draft show, when me and Zach are talking about prospects, I get it. Like I don't want to hear it. I don't.
And you know what's crazy? Like
I do not want to hear it.
We're going to have to chill out in camp too, because boy, very similar energy that Foots is having was about Tyler Guyton, right? And I wasn't as down as Foots, but I was more like, hey man, this ain't really it for this year. But then what happened? Tyler Guyton stonewall Micah Parsons one goddamn time, and everybody, oh, Tyler Guyton, baby, offensive line in the Pro Bowl. Slow down, because what happened in the regular season?
Yeah,
and that sucks, right? Because Tyler Booker going to be putting them up on their ass at camp. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
We can't get too excited. We can't get too excited.
You don't gotta
Tyler
worry about.
Booker, he's gonna dirt people in camp.
You don't gotta trust me. You don't have to worry about me getting excited or sharing videos or like.
You say that now, Foots. We all gonna do it, bro.
No.
We all gonna do it,
telling you, bro.
Hey, Foots is gonna wake up in the morning and he's gonna text me, bro. I come around on the pick.
Facts. Hey, bro.
Hey, they're on that. They got the presser going, y'all.
The presser on.
Yeah,
because I'm telling you right goddamn now, I was part of that. Not to the extent, but boy, as soon as I saw some, Jay Stonewall, Jared Verse, man.
Oh yeah, I mean I'll be the same way.
Jared Verse whooped his ass for real in that practice. He whooped his ass, but I was like, I don't give a damn. He's Stonewall. I'm trying to get myself hyped for this. You know what I mean? We gonna all do it, bro. It is what it is. But
at the end of the day, we cover the Cowboys, but we're fans. At heart. Like,
man. We're fans.
People are hating. We genuinely just want this team to get better, and we think putting it into the universe will somehow make them better. We want them to be better. Like we're not hating at all. We're just frustrated, just like everyone else out there.
And then losers in the chat just be throwing me off. Like it's not about being right or wrong. Like y'all gotta stop the weird shit. Like I'm serious about that. Some of y'all gotta stop that. Like I'm so serious. I'm evaluating. I've been doing this longer than some of y'all was even on YouTube. I know what I'm looking at. My first video was Dak Prescott's gonna be a great player. So stop. Like at the end of the day, I know what I'm looking at. So if the scheme is gonna fit the guy, great. But if it's not, he's going to struggle. And nobody in the chat will come back and say Foots was right. Like, stop, bro. I'm not. You guys always, Foots is super positive, and the one time I push back on something, Foots stopped crying. Like, which one is it?
Something I learned, and I still struggle with in regards to this. Shouts out to Brian Brothers. Told me, you're not going to please everybody. In regards to Brian, you're not going to. Did y'all both freeze here? Connection got lost on the fellas. 1 second, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, thank God it happened late. Oh, we back. We back. Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's I still fight that person. Zach, you're probably not understanding of it yet because you don't go live as much, but it's definitely something you kind of gotta. But the chat's gonna have their opinion, right? They're gonna just be respectful.
That's why you can't even look at them. That's what I tell the chat.
Yeah, just be respectful.
Chat, be respectful, because energy would always change in person. I'm not one of them. I tell y'all that now. So just don't. I don't play those games with y'all. And at the end of the day, I'm doing this because I'm trying to make us all better fans. Like the conversations we have is about being a better fan. I'm not trying to be right. You see, when Vosh came in, me and him have real debates, but then at the end of the day, it's over. I don't disrespect him. I don't. Boom. So it is what it is. Like that's the stuff that throws me off. Yeah, it's football.
You know, like we're talking football. You're all gonna have our opinions, and some people will take it too far. And
yeah. I mean, I sometimes invite the mess. Right, I open up my phone lines. And we go back and forth or whatever. But I've learned to adapt to it. I struggled and sometimes still struggle when I see somebody say something crazy. But as long as you being respectful, I don't care about the disagreement. I always say call in. Let's rap about it. I even say, hey, if I'm sounding crazy, throw a tomato at me or whatever, but just be respectful. That's all. Yeah. I mean, we not, bro, we go live. Well, I used to go live 5 days a week and 6 days out of the, season. We make tons of videos. You have tons of opinions. We're going to be wrong. You're going to be wrong too. The difference is you don't get held to that because you're not in front of a camera. And, you know what I'm saying?
When you get in front of that camera,
when you get in front of the camera or you put that dang on Twitter, yeah, boy, when you wrong, they're going to talk about it. When you right, they're gonna pretend they ain't see it, but it really shouldn't be about that. I'm not doing this to be right about shit. You know what I'm saying? I just love talking about the Cowboys and hope like hell everything work out. And if it don't, and I said it would, hey, tell me. If it do work out and I said it won't, tell me. Sometimes I want to be wrong. Shit, I say that all the time. hope like hell I'm wrong with certain stuff.
No,
yeah. We ain't mean to end it like that, but brother Foots, he tired of y'all bullshit in this chat.
and I'm probably just tired. I've been fasting all day. I got some health.
Foots from 4 miles a day fasting. Yeah. They took Tyler Booker at 12. He's just not having a good day, ladies and gentlemen. He's just not having a good day, man.
Yeah.
But we do appreciate y'all. We ain't mean to get preachy. It hit 12 o'clock at night. Round 1 of the draft has concluded. The Cowboys have selected Tyler Booker. So obviously get up on all your Tyler Booker film. Get up on your Tyler Booker, who the person is. Right now, he's already spoken. We'll get the presser. I'm sure Zach will be dropping some videos. Foots will be dropping some videos. These two gentlemen will be on tomorrow. I would not be. Got daddy duty, so I won't be able to be live, but I'll be following my guys. I'll probably be talking in the chat with y'all. Hell, if I find some time, I might pop in on. If y'all gonna be on stream or StreamYard,
right? So we're working that out because I don't know what time I'll be back.
Okay.
Yeah,
well,
so
either way, I know y'all gonna have some work.
I'll have some content up all weekend. I'll be going live for everybody, and we'll go
for sure. Maybe we can get together after the draft and kind of put this whole thing together.
I would love to do that. I know it's only been one day. We only did a few shows, but we've been talking for a while, Zach, over the last few months. This cannot be the last time that we cover this. You have to be a part of this thing each year. That until you get too big and you got to do your own thing, right? Like you got to go to .com or something. But no, in all seriousness, though, man. I said this to you privately. I'll say it publicly. Your addition to this, I think, is just kind of like I don't want to say final touch because we didn't have Vach here this year, but kind of just this piece that I didn't know we were missing. I thought you were fantastic. You were well studied. You bust your ass with these prospects, and you were fantastic today. And this would not be the last time we do this, man. Like Foots does this shit, right? This is what Foots does. This is why I want to do this show with Foots when it comes to these prospects. I think you're make your way to the rest of the community in regards to covering the draft. So
Zach is A+.
Yeah, A+. Appreciate you joining.
I really appreciate it. I thank y'all. Thank you for letting me come on here. Like when y'all asked me to do this, I was like, "Are you sure?" Like that. Man, you know what? I watched you guys for years as a Cowboys fan. Never had a channel or anything. You two are one of the biggest inspirations for me creating a channel, wanting to talk my Cowboys stuff. Like, really, thank you for giving me the opportunity. And this definitely ain't gonna be the last time we're all working together. I thought the show was
it was fantastic.
This is great.
It was awesome.
I ain't gonna lie to you. When you guys we were kind of going through changing the scenes and breaking down the prospects, I'm sitting here as a fan. I'm just like, yo, these motherfuckers killing it. This is pretty cool, man. I'm like, I wish I could just watch it, but you guys did awesome. Hopefully you guys are live tomorrow. I want to catch y'all tomorrow. If not, whatever. I think we should link up next week and just kind of generally go over the picks, man.
Yeah, let's do that. Let's do that. I would love that, bro.
You want to go look at your super chats? There's one that came through from Jeremy, dropped 5 and said a running back tomorrow. If you guys can go take a look at your super chats, just so that the fans that donated, you can at least read it out loud.
I don't even know how I can get.
Oh, you can't get it.
Yeah.
Apologies.
Anybody who dropped a super, thank you guys. You guys hung in there with us for I don't even know how many hours this is, but I can't thank you guys enough, man. I really appreciate you all. I'm sorry that I definitely I'm trying to keep it up, but I love you guys. I really do. I really am, and I'll have content up next couple days, maybe even some content tonight. Just trying to make it make sense. I'm gonna listen to the presser, hear some things, but thank you all. Seriously.
We can go out on the laugh, man. See, this is what I mean by like, hey, look, the chat can disagree, they can say things, they can roast me, and I always invite the roast. Fred says Skywalker look like a Tamu Tet McMillan. Nothing but love for you guys. Hey, dog, if I could be 6'4", 215, I'll be in that draft too, man.
Hey, I saw somebody comment earlier. At this point, Zach's gonna be our slot next year or this year. I'm like,
Cooper. Are they calling you? What's my man's name?
I'm like, bro,
Cole Beasley.
Come on, I'd be an ex Rod receiver. I'd at least be in. But yeah, we really appreciate y'all. I'm trying to find my. Oh, I think I found my supers.
Yeah, you go to, I think, Earn or.
Yeah, Jeremy said a running back tomorrow. Hopefully, we talked about that earlier. The Lando show, $4.99. He said best draft trio in the game.
Oh man,
Appreciate
look, that's humbling. I don't know if I agree. I ain't like that, but appreciate it.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that production, I'm telling y'all, ESPN needs 150 Skywalker steals. All right. Then they really be rolling with draft production.
He's the best doing
if
it.
They had 150 of me, brother. They'd be looking like 2074.
Yeah, nah, you do it,
They'd
bro.
be ahead
you do
of
it, man.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, man. I'm thankful for you, Sky. I really appreciate you, man.
Thank you.
Yes, dude. Thank you, and thank you to everybody that watched. We really appreciate it. We were rolling there for when the Cowboys were picking, so
yeah,
we were rolling. We're just rolling right now too.
Yep. Personally, for me, next week I will start one of my favorite series. I have a lot of series that I love. Rating the draft. It's different than grading the draft. So I'm excited to do that. And of course, we're gonna start off with Tyler Booker. So that'll be interesting because I don't know where I'm gonna go. But make sure y'all come through next week for that, and hopefully B-Foots and Zach can get back together and jump on and discuss. All right,
for sure.
With that said, man, hold on, I gotta press this button first.
Push the goddamn button. Push the goddamn button.
We ready?
We was ready. I don't know if we was ready for Tyler Booker at 12. I know Foots wasn't ready for Tyler Booker at 12.
Nah.
But that'll do it for night one of the NFL Draft 2025 live coverage. Man, what a night. Good stuff. Shouts out to Vosh for coming through. Shouts out to the Bomb Squad and everybody that joined us across all 3 channels. This was fantastic. We'll see y'all again. Have a good night.
All right, man.